Hello, it is I, your humble storyteller and dungeon master, B-Dave Walters, ready to do some spell jamming.
Hello, I am Trystan Falcone, and I am going to be playing Walnut Dawngrass, a very stubborn wood elf Circle of the Moon druid.
I'm Eugenio Vargas, I'm DM Jazzy Hands, and I'm playing Kent, our phantom rogue tiefling.
Hi, I'm Brian Gray, and I am playing Virgil, the Aasimar sorcerer.
Hi there, my name's Anna Prosser. I play Evelyn Marthane, who is a human Oath of the Ancients paladin.
Hi everyone, I'm Holly Conrad. I'm playing Strix Beestinger. She is a sorcerer and a tiefling and a mess.
Hello, and welcome to episode 3 of Hunger of the Far Realms. Also, happy Halloween. All Hallows Eve. Don't necessarily trust any odd creatures that show up at your door today. Also, stay clear of the creepy houses or go to the creepy houses. Oftentimes they have the best candy. But don't go alone. Before we dive into this, I just wanted to say that I lost my dad yesterday, and I still wanted to do this because the show must go on, and a lot of times people say things like, well, they still would have wanted you to do it, and a lot of times that sounds cliche, but I know for a fact my dad would have still wanted me to do it. I posted a long thing on Twitter that I won't revisit here. I just want to say, call your parents, tell people that you love them, and I'm so very lucky and happy that he was my dad. But I'm not. I'm really okay. Y'all don't look at me. Okay, right? Yeah.
Love you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, it's the mask. The mask is getting dust in my eyes. That's all it is. Okay. With that though, on with our show. As always, thank you to the Idle Champions players for voting to influence the outcome of this adventure. I'll give you the recap soon, but the last week ended with somebody being swallowed and shunted to an extra dimensional hellscape. So there's nowhere to go but up, right? As always, we acknowledge that the stakes are high, in no small part thanks to those votes. But we ask that you please respect the cast, no backseating. There's a lot of reasons why someone may choose to do something that seems non-optimal to you in the moment. Maybe they're advancing the story. Maybe there's something that we're trying to set up. Maybe I've asked them to do it. Maybe they felt like it. Maybe they made a mistake. Who cares? It's their character. We're all here to have a good time. We have the results of the votes. Of course, it is public. If you've seen it, that's cool, but I'm going to ask no spoilers in chat for the votes if the people haven't seen it. So it'll just kind of come out here organically. As always, the codes for the episode is episode 3 ICP4 code, which of course, reduced to its verbal components, is episode 3 IC4 code. The reward is 1 gold walnut chest. Shout out to the homie Walnut. That expires November 7th at 4 p.m. Pacific. For our giveaway for the US and Canada, we have 2 Spelljammer boosters. If you enter into chat code !vampirate to get 2 WizKids Spelljam boosters, Quebec is excluded from this giveaway. It goes without saying why Quebec is excluded from this giveaway, but I will just say Quebec knows what they did. For the international giveaway, there is the Ahoy Matey collection, which is Ahoy Matey 2, which I just want. I don't even know what's in it, and I just want to have it, the Ahoy Matey bundle, with a Founders Pack 5 and the winner's choice of theme pack. The winner gets to choose which theme pack that you gain, and the winners will be announced at the end of the episode. I'm looking at the live document this time, so I'll actually know who the winners are versus looking at an email and wondering why there's no winners listed. Thank you to our moderators, Mars and Martin, for taking care of everybody here, keeping chat cool, keeping everybody safe, and making sure that we all have a good time. Speaking of a good time, when last we met, you all were looking for a sextant that would allow you to safely navigate to the far realms. You found an astral moth ship of an elvish design that clearly had been warped and twisted by some dark power. After going aboard, you did retrieve what looked like an orb with tentacles that was lashing around before it became dormant in your hands. And Evelyn's companion, Treppy, was calling out a little call all along, but then seemed very panicked and stressed by something until you all came back above deck and saw a titanic astral dreadnought had the ship, the Light Fantastic, in its claws and was attacking. It quickly stopped paying attention to them and came after you guys, clearly in pursuit of the tiny astral dreadnought, who was terrified and trying to crawl away. And as Evelyn bravely jumped in front of Treppy to save his life, she vanished before your very eyes. And we come back now to Evelyn.
Where in the world is she?
Where in the world, indeed. This time, you're not in the world. Plot twist. That's why we can never find her. She was
That was
extra
why.
dimensional. What? Did anybody, I'm just saying, did we ever check to find out if Carmen Sandiego had been swallowed by an astral dreadnought?
I didn't.
Well, apparently, today, it seems like she has been. Evelyn,
Yes.
is you all watch this titanic mouth bite down on the ship that you all are on, ripping a ragged hunk out of the vessel. Those of you on the boat see when it lets up, Evelyn just isn't there. For you, Evelyn, you have led an interesting life. This is not the first time you've been in the maw of a giant beast, and quite possibly not the first time you've been swallowed.
You're right. It isn't.
But it is completely different this time. Everything simply goes black, and there is no growling. There is no gross throat muscles forcing you downward. There is no horrific stench. There is no acid. You open your eyes and you're in a room that looks like a cave. There are stone walls, a stone floor, heaps of all sorts of items and broken things. You can see the wreckage of other spell jamming vessels. You see the skeletons of a number of sentients laying all over the place. But the one thing you don't see is any doors. What would you like to do?
Is it dark? You said dark.
It is dark.
I want to take out my battle axe Lightfall, and I thought that cast light. Maybe
You
not.
You do have a weapon blessed by Lathander himself, so I'm going to say that radiating rainbow axe absolutely gives off enough light for you to be able to see.
Cool. With that, I look around and try to get a sense. You said there's no doors, but is it just like I'm going to look around for any openings?
Give me a perception check.
Evelyn is not great at that, but we will try. Not bad. 19.
You, as described, what looks like you very quickly put together. There's several things that have just been swallowed whole. There are some very small spell jamming vessels that are just sitting here, slowly decaying, but mostly you see what would have just been mouths of things. Just, there's a hunk of rotting Kindori flesh sitting somewhere. There's busted up wood in bits and pieces from the ship that you were on all around your feet. And as you look around, you don't see an exit, but what you do see is over one of these wrecked spelljamming vessels, a familiar sight. There is a swarm of clockwork horrors, those robot spiders, systematically breaking it down. And you see in unison, they all look up and look at you, and their lights start flashing red. Meanwhile, we go back to the top of initiative, where it was the Astral Dreadnought's turn, because it actually did that as a legendary action. For the rest of you on the deck of the spelljamming ship, you've seen the scene as described. Treppy, the Astral Dreadnought, is trying to crawl away from this thing, and you see that it is reaching out towards it with a large claw. I would ask, do any of you attempt to intervene to help this little astral dreadnought before the big one can get it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I'm like, ew,
Yeah.
no.
Well, considering all of you are willing to place yourself in harm's way like the heroes you are, let us see who the astral dreadnought decides to direct its attention towards.
I'm on my broom flying towards it too, just to be safe.
I'm in another state.
No, actually, Evelyn is in another state. like scientifically speaking, another state. I have rolled randomly, and unfortunately, it is Kent who has reached there in time. Kent, I'm going to say do.
Oh.
Yes, sorry.
Sorry. I just wanted us to remember that I am currently running up its body to get to its anti-magic eye.
You are running up its body to get to its anti-magic eye, and thank you for reminding me of
course.
that.
Never mind. Yeah, I'm not on my.
I could have remind of the running up. Don't remind of the anti-magic thing.
I got it on the screen in front of me. I didn't notice at some point. As this beast is looking down at the ship, over the ship, a anti-magic field projects from its starry swirling galaxy eye, completely negating all magical effects. But Kent, you have succeeded in having its attention, at least temporarily. Let's spread it around a little bit. Here, I'm gonna do this slightly differently. It is going to make one attack at Virgil, one attack at Walnut, and one attack at Kent. As two of you are rushing to aid the tiny familiar, and Kent is actively running up its arm. So let's start. It's got a pretty significant 2-hit here. So, Kent, what is your AC?
It's 18.
Kent,
Yes.
you all see this mouth bites down again on Kent, but it doesn't swallow you completely. It does, however, do 36 points of force damage as teeth that are basically the size of oak trees kind of collapse in on him. And Virgil, you very much see this happen, although you are aware that he does not get swallowed and is still on its arm afterwards.
I will sort of roll into the nomming and uncanny dodge this one since we got a new round, but it still hurts.
Absolutely. We're top of the round. Everything's refreshed for everybody. Both Walnut, Virgil, what is your AC?
13.
It is going to be high enough that it lashes out with its claws at Walnut and Virgil, pinching both of you. Although when the pinchers close on you, you don't feel a crushing force. It is more just like a concussive damage as this creature that basically should not exist in the prime material assaults you for 19 points of force damage to each of you.
Oh.
Ouch.
That is,
Ow.
however, its turn. And we go to Kent because now it is your turn.
Revenge.
Yeah.
I'm going to say because it bit you and brought its head down, its eye is within reach.
Its eye is within reach. Great. In that case, I will... Ooh, magic. So let's use the rapier, because I'm not sure that those blades are going to come out of my fancy new bracers at this point. So let's use the rapier, because that will work for sure. It's not magic anymore, but we're going to just stab right at that eye.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If you want, we know 5th edition doesn't have called shots as such, but here's what I will do. I will let you attack with disadvantage, but if you succeed, you will make it blink, and if it blinks, the anti-magic goes off.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that.
So have at it.
All right, I'm going to roll this because it's not... Nope, disadvantage. Look at me trying to give myself advantage.
It's the opposite of what is good.
That is a 17 with disadvantage.
17 total?
17 total, yes.
That is not enough, Kent, as your rapier heads straight for its eye and it lowers its head, and that bony eye ridge, the blade bounces right off of it.
That's what I got then. Yeah. I'm gonna just keep running.
Attack?
Keep on running and try and get no, because I'm a rogue, right? No.
I mean, you only need to
I guess I
attack
got
once when you make it count.
it's not a light weapon. I don't have 2-weapon fighting feet, so I can't do an offhand either.
Perfect. Well, Kent, you are up there and you are in its face, but unfortunately, you have not quite gotten its attention.
I think halfway through the thrust, Kent realizes that he's about to stab a big eye that like will undoubtedly gush upon him if he succeeds, and that's just enough to get him to pull the blow.
It's no astral goo this time. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, maybe not now. It's my I just got this new outfit.
Evelyn, meanwhile, back inside this domain, there are 5 of these things. For the record, a swarm of clockwork horrors was one of the results voted on by the good players of Idle Champions.
Thank you so much.
It's literally the gift that keeps on giving.
So much.
Evelyn, there's 5 of these things, but it is your turn.
I wanted to look around and see if there might be any allies about, like anyone else who's been swallowed and managed to survive, but this seems more pressing. And I also had Lightfall out, and Lightfall has a ability that I rarely get to use that I think will be really fun here. So I'm going to use Lightfall to cast Sunbeam.
Okay.
And I'm looking for the actual text, but basically it's a cone of radiant damage.
Perfect. Do they get any saves or anything of the such?
I'm trying to find... It's not on my D&D Beyond sheet, so give me just 1 second. There we go.
No problem.
A beam of brilliant light... Oh, it's a beam. Of brilliant light flashes out from your hand in a 5-foot wide, 60-foot long line. Each creature in the line must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, they take 68 radiant damage and are blinded until your next turn. On a successful save, it takes half damage and is not blinded.
I have not made the save. I'm going to say you can get all 5 of them in your beam.
That's why you don't line up.
Give me the damage when you have it. However, what you do notice is as you shoot this radiant light out, and it does damage them. You see their components sizzling and cracking, but they don't seem like they're blinded by it. Like the eyes continue flashing red and they're still looking right at you.
So they take 38.
38 points of damage. They are all massively damaged, but still up.
Oh, actually, sorry. I added Improved Divine Smite for 2, which I shouldn't have because it wasn't melee, so it's 36.
Okay, perfect. You see you have already knocked legs and claws off of some of them, but they still charge forward. What is your AC?
It is 18, if I'm doing my math right.
3 of them run forward with their rotating saw arms and are attacking you, but you hear the screech of metal and see sparks as your armor holds against these creatures. But 2 of them hold back and shoot bolts of lightning at you, which hit for 14 total points of lightning damage.
Ow.
Meanwhile, back outside, Walnut, it is your turn. Again, Kent is actively trying to stab at the eye of this thing. You have attempted to interpose yourself between it and Treppy. The rest of your familiars have kind of wisely fallen back, but do recall each of them have things they can do to help you in this conflict. They all have their own little abilities.
Yes, I think that is going to be very helpful right now. In fact, you know what? Let's go ahead. Okay, so, me and little Bala, we've only known each other a few moments, but we've really connected. So as going to get this, little Treppy, I want to scoop him up like a football. Like I'm really just grabbing him. Yes, exactly.
And he immediately starts gumming on your hand, but of course it doesn't hurt.
Incredible. And then I want to have you know what? Maybe ball is small. Just kind of have any floats. I just kind of palmed him, and I want to use his little flashing focus.
You see as you hold Bala, at first it looks up at the Astral Dreadnought and you feel him trembling in your hand, but then it looks at you and just like all 6 of his eyes just narrow with resolve. As he gets what you want him to do. Yeah.
Bravery.
What does his
yes.
ability do?
Let me read that. This baby Kindori lights up their eyes to distract one creature within 10 feet of them, imposing disadvantage on the target's next attack roll. Just a flashlight, just a little flashlight whale.
You see its eyes start blinking in this like hypnotic scintillating pattern. And even though Kent is right there, you do see the eye rotates and just sort of squints and looks at Bala. Perfect.
Yes.
I'm not going to make either of those things count as your action. I believe that is a bonus action to use those abilities, so you still can do a thing. So you're Heisman trophying a little baby astral dreadnought while holding the other one out. But what would you like to do for an action? For the record, Virgil is on deck next.
Wonderful. Okay, well, if that is going, and is the eye still open?
Oh yes,
still,
it is definitely still open.
Okay, well then I'm gonna do, gosh, not much. So everything else is kind of magic, and my hands are full of little critters. Can I prepare? Hold
Yes.
until. Okay.
You can.
Then
What?
I will. It's like I'm trying to light a lighter. I'm gonna have Moonbeam on deck.
Okay. You like.
Yes.
Yes. So the moment that its eye closes, Moonbeam will be on deck. Excellent.
Blessed.
Virgil, your turn, and then Strix is on deck after that.
Same as Walnut. Like Virgil tried to summon magic and realizes, okay, this is one of those moments that he hates, and basically grabs his quarterstaff and is prepared to swing at the nearest field of anything. This is not his forte, but yells to Tycho, and just kind of points upward and says, freeze it, but don't be seen. And Tycho has a icy whoosh. Sorry.
Okay, Daddy. Tycho won't be seen. Okay, and what does the icy whoosh do?
The icy whoosh is a blast of cold directed against the target. It deals 1d6 cold damage and reduces the target's speed by 5 feet until their next turn.
Perfect. You see Tycho very much flies down behind one of its claws and back by its chitinous elbow joint, and it's just like, you see the smallest patch of frost forming on the back of the Astral Dreadnought's arm, but it does seem like it slows down.
And Virgil at that point will let's see, since Baby Kandor.
How much damage? Because every little bit counts.
That's right. I've got to do dice.
Mm-hmm.
Please hurt it, please.
Okay. It was 2 points of cold damage.
It counts.
It
counts.
And yeah, seeing that the baby Astral Dreadnought is fine, Virgil's gonna take a whack at the near. What hit Virgil?
A claw. Yeah, I mean, you very much get this thing's gargantuan. Like it's you can reach it to hit it.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and try this. We'll see.
Okay. What kind of weapon are you attacking it with?
It is a quarterstaff.
Let me save you some time there. Is it a magical quarterstaff?
It is.
Oh, okay. Well, then go ahead and roll it.
Oh, it's a 19 to hit.
Total?
Yeah.
That is not enough. You just crack against this thing. Like you in Virgil, the fundamentals were there. You got the good hip rotation and everything, and just a whack. But it seems
good form though, babe. Good form.
It's true. Yeah. No. Very, very. It was top flight, Kent, especially in that outfit.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not. This is just not my day. It is not my day or night. Whatever it is right now, I don't know.
Anything else from Virgil?
With an anti-magic, so no.
Perfect.
Yeah, if it wears off, preparing to maybe do a thing, but no, anti-magic.
Preparing to do a thing. All right, Strix, your turn.
All right, so this whole time, Strix has just been singing a little song to Kuba, going like, Kuba, a stinky man, he's so stinky and small, so stinky. And she's just like, Kuba, I'm gonna need you to go up there and stop that tiny dreadnought and grab him. Can you grab him with your little wingies?
Currently, the little dreadnought is in Walnut's arm, like a football. Would you still want him to take away from
can.
Walnut?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, if Kuba
Yeah.
can like grab, like come up to Walnut and just be like, "Stinky man," like I don't know.
yeah, like pass him off.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
pass him off. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're playing football now.
I love this.
It's the flea flicker with a little baby astral dreadnought.
Yes.
Perfect. Yes, absolutely. Kuba, your winged swine, swoops in and grabs Kuba and just like flies further back down kind of towards the hold of the ship, which you see the astral dreadnought very much turns its head and looks towards it, which let's see here. Actually, Strix, I'm going to let you roll just a straight D20 to
All right.
see if Kuba's flyby is enough to get this thing to turn its head.
Okay. That's a 10.
Unfortunately, it's not quite enough.
No!
You see the big eye rotate, but not enough to take the magical field off of it. The anti-magic field is huge. It's like 150 feet wide.
Can I like get Kuba to keep flying? Like just like
Well, you actually can,
Okay.
because there is an air pocket that goes out to the edge of the ship here. You all see the swine just continues going, and then near the edge of the ship just starts curling downwards. You just hear, "Whee!" And because this is incredible, objectively, I'm going to say
his little hooves are holding the dreadnought, like with his little like pinchers outside, so it just looks like
Yeah.
he's like hanging.
Yeah, exactly. As they dip over the side of the ship, I'm going to say the astral dreadnought does turn its head enough that your various effects can happen now.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and resolve your Strix. As you see, it clearly is looking like.
Yes. I'm just like, oh, perfect. Thank you. Yeah. I would love to just like straight up chain lightning its eyeball.
Have at it.
All right, chain lightning the eyeball. I think I'm gonna use a higher level to just like blast the crap out of it. So I'm gonna use an 8th level chain lightning.
I like where this is headed.
All right, please do well. Okay, 42, straight to the eyeball.
Let me.
And it is
this-
a chain lightning. Hold on, it is a. Let me check the save.
It's probably Dex.
Yeah, 19 dex. Yeah.
This is going to come as a complete and total shock, but a creature the size of a building made out of mist is not terribly dexterous. I actually roll pretty well, but it has, oh, wait a second. It did make the save.
No!
Never mind.
Oh.
As the lightning is coming, you see it's like, and scrapes
Oh.
the cheek on the other side of Kent. It has looked away, but you have not negated its magical eye. So that it was 36 is what you rolled?
42.
42, perfect. Give him 21. Anything else from Strix?
Oh my god. I can quicken spell something as a bonus action. If I notice that it moves, I think I might quicken spell and just try and polymorph it.
All right.
Just as a panic, I'm gonna just quicken spell like and just like try and like.
You absolutely can. What is the
It is
save
a
DC on that?
wisdom 19. I don't know how big its wisdom is, but we'll see.
Wisdom 19.
Uh-oh.
Strix, what do you want to polymorph it into?
Do it.
It's just a baby chick, obviously.
I didn't want. We got to stay on brand, right?
Actually, it's big, so just a full-size chicken. Actually, this time.
It has a significant wisdom bonus, and I rolled so poorly.
Oh my god!
You see this clawed hand like reaching for Treppy, and it turns and looks at you, and it just goes. And you see Evelyn come flying back to the deck of the ship, covered in busted up bits of Clockwork Horrors, and an odd tentacle on her chest, laying across her chest, Strix, that like starts undulating slowly, like it's coming towards you like an earthworm. And The Astral Dreadnought was actually outside of the air pocket.
Oh no! So
I
just.
was like,
Oh my god!
Oh no.
Question.
Oh no.
Recording
No. Oh
in
no.
progress.
Oh my god!
What happened to Kent in that moment, please?
You tell me what happened
Oh
to
my
Kent
God.
in that moment. You basically were on the side of a skyscraper, which is now a chicken right next to you.
Okay, so if I may, I would like to try and catch the chicken as I begin to fall, is the first thing that I would like to do.
I'm going to go ahead and say you're easily, since we have an expert here, what kind of chicken do you turn it into? Like, what's the chicken look like?
Oh, do tell.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a Polish hen with the big fluffy head. So just like
Good,
the big
lots to
grizzle,
grab.
just
Yeah.
like a big puffy white head, and then like an astral say it's like space colored. So there's space. So it's like the atmosphere, and it's kind of fluffy, and it only has one eye.
We get it.
Oh,
a
God.
one-eyed space chicken.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Wow. Yes.
Yes.
I just googled that. That's awesome.
Yes.
Kent, you are able to grab the chicken. You tell me what happens. So you were still in the air pocket because again, this thing is so big, and you were on its arm, and it kind of came to you. So yeah.
Well, assuming it doesn't work like Zelda Cuckoos, and I can't just ride it safely back to the ship. I think I grab it expecting to do exactly that, and then we just sort of begin to. I think we fall into the gravity loop,
As you
and I'm just
are
holding.
plummeting into the gravity loop, you hear the feverish flapping of wings as Kuba is making the circuit, like wait, like coming flying the other direction there. Kent. And very much, you can kind of grab onto his leg and come back to the deck. Actually, Strix, Kuba's gonna just keep making the loop until you tell him not to.
I'm like, Kuba, no, you can come back. No, you can come back. Every time he comes around the side, I'm like, no.
Evelyn, you wake up to that scene. Again, you clearly are covered in something like it must have thrown you up, but that wasn't your experience. You were in there fighting the clockwork horrors, and then you're back on the deck of the ship covered in goo.
Did any of them come out with me?
They were all destroyed in transit.
Cool. I definitely throw this tentacle off of me.
Oh, I grab it.
Happy birthday.
It's not my birthday. I don't know when it is, but maybe it is my birthday. I say to Evelyn.
Strix, it's like a long whip-like strand of muscle with a sharp stinger at one end. But as you pick it up, the other end wraps around your arm and suctions onto your arm, like it won't come off.
This
So
is
I
why
immediately-
you shouldn't touch appendages that have just been cut off.
Immediately as Evelyn is yelling that, their scene erupts where the thing is stuck to her arm and she's like flinging it around like and just like as if like someone got like a spider in their hair. It's like like just like shaking.
You all notice as Strix freaks out, every once in a while this thing lashes out and the stinger like punches a hole in the deck and like punches a hole, like busts through boxes, and you realize this actually is a fairly effective projectile.
She'll like stop for a second and be like, oh, and I'm like,
because thanks to the good players of Idle Champions, you have gained a magic item and you chose Dern's Tentacle
yes.
Whip. I want you all to know I am a monster, but she chose this of her own free will. That it's like, can I have a parasitic muscle whip? And it's like,
That's
yeah.
sick.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you have that? Yes.
Yeah, so now it's stuck to my arm forever. I just like kind of like go limp and I'm like, Evelyn, I think it's stuck to me forever.
Are you sure? Do you want me to cut it off?
No! I feel like
You
it
wanna
might
keep
hurt.
it?
Yeah. And I like stick it into my cloak and I'm just like, it's mine now.
Okay, I mean,
I'm gonna
Whatever
give it a
suits.
name.
oh.
For the rest of you, this thing is fleshy and veiny and pulsating and horrible.
Oh my god.
It's just attached to her arm. Yeah.
But this does not surprise Evelyn at all. Like, Evelyn is not shocked. This is
No.
typical Strix behavior, just like rolls with it. Is that floating chicken something we should deal with?
Oh. Who was good? Does Kent have it?
Yeah, he's got it. Just a big fluffy white chicken
Yeah.
Oh.
with one starry eye.
No.
Holding on to it for dear life now.
Yeah.
So are you just like floating with the chicken?
No, I think Kuba helped bring us back to the deck, right?
Okay.
Kuba brought you back
I'm
to
like,
the deck.
you might want to
Eventually.
you might want to throw that into space. You don't really want it to stay here.
I can take it if you want to the edge of the bubble, if you want.
Yeah, I'll hand it to Evelyn and just sort of forcefully and seeing its one single eye. Just, yeah, it's like.
You notice that Evelyn looks very adept at handling chickens, so you get the idea that this is something she's done plenty of times with Strix as a combo. So yeah, she'll hold the chicken's wings real tight and then use her flying boots. Oh wait, do my flying boots work now?
Without its eye, yeah, it does. You
Okay,
find
good.
like every time it looks at you, it's kind of like it's almost like they don't work quite as well. Like they're sort of trapped in third gear type thing. But they do work. Yeah.
Evelyn takes the chicken, flies up with her flying boots to the edge of the bubble, and says, "Be born again in the dawn of a new light," and just poof, chucks it through the bubble.
As you see this like chicken hurtles into the void of space, floundering here, you all see Treppy just like flies like a bullet up from underneath the deck and just slams into your chest, Evelyn, like happily gumming on your face here and like holding onto your head.
No, mommy doesn't like, no,
You all make your way back to the Light Fantastic. Again, the ship has kind of been through a few things here. It was damaged in the asteroid field, damaged further now by the Astral Dreadnought. And as you all come back with the Sextant, which recall, it was this odd pulsating tentacled orb, the captain looks at it and she says, good news, bad news. You did it. Yay. Good. And we can plug it in to the ship, and that should take us where we're trying to go. Again, all good things. Thing is, it might be like semi-sentient and kind of try and take over the mind of whoever's flying the ship. So any of you feel like giving it a try? 'Cause, I mean, I can. I don't know that I kind of don't want to because I need my brain. I use it for stuff. So
Who's the most
What does it take to fly this ship?
Who's the most antisocial among us? And I just like look sideways at Walnut.
Yeah, Walnut was already looking at you. Like we just turned and looked at each other at the same time.
And she just says, "There's not much to it. You sit in the Spelljammer helm right here. That means you become the Spelljammer. That's cool. And you attune to it, and you kind of just think what you want it to do, and it just goes."
Well, I ride horses, so it can't be that much different.
It's only completely different. Yeah, right. Sure.
I can do it.
And she
Why are you
just
shaking your head, Walnut?
I wasn't. That was not.
Did you want to?
shaking my
You
head.
can do it if you want to. I didn't mean to take. You can do it. I didn't mean to take over for you.
Do I? You know what? I think becoming a whole ship and Spelljammer would. I think that sounds like something that. Wouldn't Lathander want that for you? And then Walnut's just sweating. Like, I don't want it. No. It's like pushing you towards it.
I don't know. Would Lathander want that for me? Does anybody else? I mean,
Virgil?
I guess if no one's stepping forward, Evelyn's just kind of like letting herself be led toward the helm.
Virgil,
we've all
Kent,
taken half a
She's
step
very-
forward.
Yeah,
do you want to be a ship?
She's very hardy. I assumed that maybe she'd be able to.
No, she's
survive
gonna
the-
she's gonna fly us to some celestial plane. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. Let's just go. We need someone who's
Oh, do you
not
think
gonna.
I could fly to Lathander?
See, we can't
Never
have
mind.
that.
Yeah, no, it's Virgil. You want to give it a go?
Please, Virgil.
Oh,
The captain just says, statistically speaking, isn't death the easiest way to go flying to Lathander? I mean,
Well-
I'm not the religious one you are, so.
No, actually, it's on the celestial plane. You can actually get there if you go through some portals. But it's neither here nor there. We need someone who won't take us there. Is the point?
Virgil.
It also
It's a
seems
ship.
like
It's
this
a-
should
it's
be
a ship.
someone who has a
Yeah.
great presence of mind. If it's going to try to take over someone's mind, they should be very resolute.
That.
Who among
yes.
us is very resolute?
I mean, you, but
I mean, I would say that on a scale of some to some other, I have about 16 wisdom units of resoluteness.
how did she know my favorite scale?
Oh no, that's
She's like
does
fascinating.
everyone use that scale?
Wisdom units. The next thing you tell me is there's going to be some sort of like micro living creatures. That's where your magic comes from in your blood. Like that makes no sense.
That is clearly ridiculous.
Don't bring metachlorians into this. How dare you?
No.
Why would that be a thing?
How dare you?
Hearing you say
No.
that, Walnut goes, as a person with 20 wisdom units, I know that Virgil will directly where we need to go and is just shoving Virgil into the sea.
Oh my god.
I'll come with you and make sure that you don't, lose.
You see the captain is kind of putting her hands on her head, and she's like, "How many wisdom units do I have? How do I-"
Oh my god.
Not enough, baby.
Virgil, as you sit down in the chair, the sensation is very odd. You get a pins and needles sensation that goes through your hands and your fingers, like your arms and legs go to sleep, which is kind of odd until then you realize you're aware of the
You're
entire
making jokes
vessel.
about.
Yeah. You're aware of every room in the ship. You're aware of where everyone is. Like, I mean, here with your open eyes, you can see them all, and yet you're aware that they're standing in this room with you. It's like the entire vessel has become an extension.
You okay?
There's a very noticeable shudder in the entire vessel as there's this acclimating to this feeling. Is it possible to speak to others while flying the Spelljammer?
Yes, you have an intercom system.
Better.
You see the captain looks at you and she goes, "Great, cool, awesome. That was the easy part. Here comes the weird part." And she grabs the sextant and pushes a button, and tentacles erupt out of it and start sticking to the chair, and one of them sticks right to your head, Virgil. And you all watch this thing all over and start pulsating and glowing. But Virgil, it doesn't hurt. You just become aware of the infinite vastness of space, and there's something that looks almost like a ribbon of light that just goes off into the distance, and you're having an innate understanding that that's the way you're supposed to go.
There is, like, for the briefest moment across all of the ship's communications, like an actual mic feedback moment. And then you hear Virgil's voice saying, "Well, this is weird. Wait, I hear myself. Is that what I sound like? Wait, no. Okay. I can see a path. Is that where we should go?" If you speak, am I going to hear you? Do you talk to? I don't.
Oh yeah. I mean, they not only are they physically there in the room, but you could hear them. You see Tycho lands on your lap and just very much like flares out his wings a little, and he goes, "My daddy's flying the ship."
Oh.
And Photos just like looks at him, and like his eyes narrow. And you hear a growl coming from him, Kent. Yeah.
Photos, come here. I'm gonna whisper something in Photos's little ear, and Photos is gonna fly off towards the front of the ship, and we'll deal with that in a minute.
Perfect. He does exactly that. Virgil, is it your intent to put the ship in motion?
Yes.
You find this thing moves at incredible speed, Virgil. Like, you couldn't tell before because you were on the deck and everyone's aware that you're moving. Space is going by. But you know that if you were on Faerun, you'd be going about 10,000 miles an hour. Like, you are hurtling through space in this direction until eventually pale streaks of white and gray roil and flash to all sides like wispy clouds. The star-like motes of distant light that anchor the astral sky shift slowly into the infinite distance as the spell-jamming vessel travels at an incredible speed.
I feel real bad about what I sent Photos to do now.
Yeah.
I mean, I know exactly where it's going. It's okay.
As you all are flying, a sudden pulse of light flares ahead into port, a new astral star hanging where there was only a silver cloud a moment before. But as the ship races ahead, the star begins to shift and enlarge, revealing the features of some sort of floating island of green, white, and gold. Beneath the island, great roots of rock taper down and away, twisting slowly around each other. Atop it, spires of white and gold stone rise up, forming towers and battlements, walls and bridges, and all of them glowing star-bright. For a moment, the image of the astral mote seems to fill your mind, and then it's gone, flashing past and behind the ship and faded away into darkness in an instant. That is a rare sight, Captain Carstairs calls out. Not 1 in 100 ships sailing in the astral sea sees one of those astral dominions. Those towers were homes to the gods themselves, wondrous to behold.
The ship!
But I'm glad that's as close as I'm ever gonna get.
No, we need to meet the gods!
Which ones, though? I bet
Any
that
of
feels.
Not big on
mentioned
those.
the gods. We haven't mentioned the gods
Gods?
thing.
Is
Right? Ixnay
Lathander
on the
there?
gods thing.
If Lathander's there, I don't want to stop.
Why we said what god?
Evelyn, you hear in your head, I don't know, should we tell Strix that I'm always with her? Normally I would, but I don't want to interfere with the mission.
Well, Strix Lathander's always with us.
Keep going!
Somehow
He's here all
faster.
along.
But I
He's
will
always with
keep,
you in your heart.
I'll keep note of this.
As you fly just a little bit further, although you know it's actually thousands of miles, the ship shudders momentarily as it slows, marking the spell-jamming helm's automatic detection of an object in its course that must be navigated around. Ahead of the ship and off to the starboard side, a dark moat materializes against the astral sea's shifting silvery light. Easily mistaken for a lone asteroid at first, the object begins to resolve more details, appearing more like a statue now, though its features are weathered and blank. Ah, another rare sighting, the captain calls out, and as the ship banks to one side to keep the great floating statue in view, she says, Strix, you said you wanted to see a god. Well, that's a dead one.
Let's
Pointing
go
at
get
the
its bits!
rock.
Wait, what bits? What
I
bits?
don't care!
What bits?
It doesn't matter!
Oh, I don't think we should.
She really likes bits.
Are we going to stop and get the god bits, or should we keep going?
Come on!
It's sometimes just easier to let her poke around a little.
The captain says, yes. Also, you know how we have an air envelope so we can like breathe and stuff? That doesn't. So if you go over there, unless you got a way to take some air with you, you're probably gonna die instantly. I mean, don't get me wrong.
The slowing down ceases and it ramps back up. Yup.
I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, I can turn into a mist. I'll be fine.
Little do you realize Virgil's already punched it. And it's like
I'm like, no, my bits!
Flying off into the distance. Virgil, you are aware that this is going to take some time, so you will all have enough time to get the benefits of a long rest. But I think before you do, though, I believe, Kent, what exact mischief did you have photos doing?
So unfortunately, Kent sent photos to do mischief and then immediately forgot that he sent photos to do mischief. So Photos is now crawling all over the hull of the ship and like occasionally breathing a little solar energy and occasionally scratching on the hull just to tickle and mess with Virgil. But the problem is that now I don't know where he is, so I can't tell him to stop. So I think it goes all night.
I can tell you where he is.
Virgil, thanks to the good people of Idle Champions, they actually voted that Photos was going to cause a problem today.
Uh-oh.
So Virgil, you actually don't get a long rest. You only get a short rest.
Oh no!
As every time you're sort of like even kind of on autopilot and sort of dozing a little bit, it literally feels like a little dragon is scratching at your head. And then it feels like a little dragon.
You all get a long rest, but it's not a very good long rest because the ship just every now and then the ship is literally tickled like
I think while Kent is sleeping soundly, he lets out a little chuckle.
Yeah. Eventually Photos does float to bed and just like land in his little bed next to you, feeling very pleased with himself, Kent. As you all, Trev, does anyone need to do anything else before you take your long rest, or anything else you want to say or do?
Strix is going to just wander around the deck telling everyone that the mind flayers are putting things in chips into the water and that they're tracking us through the water that we're drinking.
As you do that again, Eunorus, the grumpy old guy, is like, I knew it. I've been drinking water my whole life, and trouble follows me everywhere. It makes so much sense. You know?
She's like, yeah, it's them. They're after us.
Well, yes. Oh man, they're everywhere. You know what? Hold on a second. I'm gonna roll for the whole dang crew of just like how many people buy this. Same
Oh my
thing.
God.
Strix. Just give me real quick. Just give me persuasion, Strix.
Okay. Oh, that's not bad. I have a pretty good persuasion. Let's see. 19.
I need you to know I just rolled a fistful of dice and I rolled horrifically. Like almost all of them are single digit.
Oh my
The captain got a natural 20. She's like, I don't know what's up with this weird woman, and are we not going to talk about the fact that she has a pulsating tentacle arm now?
Oh yeah, she's like flipping it around. She's like,
The rest of the crew, Strix, are all, would you come up, have fashioned silver hats to
Oh my
help
God,
interfere with the radiation of the astral sea so that they can't track them out here.
perfect.
They
Perfect.
were like, they collectively are starting to wake up.
Perfect.
Thanks to you, Strix.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm like, we're going to all start a podcast. Don't worry.
I don't even know what a podcast is, but count me in. Does anyone do anything else before you sleep?
My axe, in order to cast Sunbeam again, has to recharge in sunlight for 1 hour. Would you agree that stars are also suns and starlight could recharge it?
I absolutely will.
Sweet.
Photos, actually, while he's doing his thing, makes a point to breathe his little fire breath that basically is like starfire all over it to help you too. It's like that whole Godzilla versus Kong thing where he breathes on it and it starts to glow as it's charging up. Yeah, absolutely.
And he then definitely makes a comment that the other dragon couldn't have done that.
It's exactly. Photos did that, not Tycho. Yeah.
Wow, Photos is so talented. She gets
Well done.
You recall Photos doesn't have 4 limbs. His arms go out into his wings, whereas Tycho does have 4 legs and wings. But Photos very much like full John Cena, like, bask in his radiance there, which again, Tycho finds infuriating.
I've never wanted some sort of illusion spell more in my life.
Also,
yes, go ahead.
In our rest time, I also want to search the closet, and can I find exactly this little hoodie to put on the Astral Dreadnought?
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
The cantrip hoodie.
I was gonna say, is that from
Yes.
Cantrip?
I want it canonically to be the Cantrip D20 Bouquet familiar hoodie, please.
Hashtag ad.
What hashtag sponsored. You absolutely can, and you even managed to roll the sleeves back far enough that he can't gum on them because he's so stocky with his little head. So it's just sort of like perfect.
Maybe he gets one of the cuffs off before I realize that, so there's just a little bit of damage, but shove it up after that.
Perfect.
Just some flavor while we're getting ready to sleep. I do nothing that would get me any new items, but I do spend a lot of time putting eye drops in each of little Bala's eyes.
Oh my God.
And telling her what a great job. Little temple massage.
You very much have an entire ocean ecosystem, although you are very much not in water here, as you have a flying space whale and all of these seemingly aquatic creatures that are just fine in the infinite void. Are you going to put eye drops in all of their eyes or just Bala's?
No, just Bala. Just the one that did something for me.
It's your various crustaceans and cephalopods are like,
Yeah.
you know, this.
Who do you think I made the drops out of? Wow. I know it's messed up. It's messed up, but circle of life.
That is that again, like you said before, you have upcycled them now.
Yes.
Give me, Walnut, a wisdom check.
I would love to give you a wisdom check.
Not a save, a check. This is nothing deleterious here. It's just to see if you notice something.
It's a 23.
You start to catch on to the pattern in the blinking of her eyes. That it's not random. It's like she expresses concepts to you, like yes, no, good, bad type thing. Like you kind of have an idea what she's trying to tell you.
Whoa. Oh my gosh. Okay. Is it just like a hot and cold thing, or is she trying to give me like some real information?
I mean, at the risk of being meta, she's got an intelligence of 6, so similar to how Photos and Tycho both kind of talk like babies, it is sort of fairly simple concepts.
So when I realized this, I like look down at my armor and I'm just like shrug at them, and I'm looking at Bella. I'm like, you are so important. I'm just holding her over the shoulder, petting her. I'm like, I'm not gonna let anything happen to you.
He very much like nuzzles in, you know what I mean, and like kind of, you know, when a sleeping animal, like they like triple in weight because they just go completely limp. Like she's been floating this entire time and it's like
yes,
you know, like 150-pound Kindori boa around your neck here.
I love it. Somehow it's like a weighted blanket, and Walnut's natural like I'm not on terra firma anxiety is like lessened a little bit. Perfect.
The night passes uneventfully for everyone but Virgil, unfortunately, until it's not really a night or day as such. There is just the gleaming spectral sky, but you all do rest until ahead, the wispy essence of the astral sea is suddenly cut by a faint line of roiling shadow. Then that line begins to expand, unfurling like a tangled mass of black thread. Virgil, you're aware that the sextant is shouting in your mind in no language that can be spoken, and yet you completely understand that if you fly through that rift specifically, you will reach the far realms.
For just like that, Virgil brings the ship out of warp. Had to do it.
Apropos.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
everything stretches and then comes back together.
Yeah, pretty much like. And is basically is like, I don't know if anybody else can see that field in front of us, but that's where we have to go. Is everyone ready?
No.
Definitely not.
I thought you were taking us home. Where are we going? That's why I put you in the seat. I thought we had a thing. I thought you understood.
I thought we were looking for bigger dead gods to land on. Like I wipe my forehead with the tentacle.
Well, I think we kind of
apparently
are.
We all wanted things today, but
while you all are flying forward in discussing this, without warning, twisting black threads from the rift form giant shadowy tentacles and lash out, their length expanding 100-fold as they come out and actively start wrapping around the ship and pulling it, and you hear things breaking. Virgil, it's terrible because you feel like someone is pulling on each one of your fingers and twisting your neck and cracking your back. Like the damage of the ship, you're feeling viscerally. All the rest of you, what would you like to do as the ship is being destroyed? I will say you have basically 3 options. The crew has leapt into action. Again, although they're kind of an unruly band of misfits, they are capable sailors, truly. And they are rushing around trying to secure like vital areas of the ship so like the masts don't get broken or something that is going to leave you dead in space. So these tentacles are lashing out at them too. You can help save the crew. You can try and disrupt the flow of the chaotic energy that is even pouring out of this rift towards the ship, or you can try and physically destroy the tentacles. We're actually not going to go back into initiative as such, but I am just going to ask you in the order that we had from the last initiative. Kent, would you like to try and physically destroy the tentacles, mystically disrupt the flow, or help the crew?
I mean, it's attacking the ship, which is currently Virgil, so I think I'm going to physically try to destroy the tentacles.
You know what? I'm going to do this a slightly different way.
Oh, sure.
For each of you, if you want to break the chains, just make an attack roll. And when I come to you, you can tell me what happens. If you want to disrupt the flow, make an Arcana check. Same thing, when I come to you, tell me what you got. If you want to save the crew, make a reflex saving throw. So, since we're already at you, Kent, you said attack the tentacles?
I did attack. Yes, I would like to attack the tentacles, and my attack roll's a 23.
You absolutely pierce one of them, and it is an odd conglomeration of, it's got almost like the density of like hard, knotty muscle, and yet it is actually the spectral manifestation of this warp in reality. But you are actively helping like knock some of them off as they are lashing forward, because there's dozens of these things.
Yeah, and I think we've seen it a couple times before, but the spirits that sometimes help Kent are like, as he stabs, are coming out and grabbing bits of tentacle and trying to tear them off.
And Virgil, while you're aware of all of this instinctively, you're particularly aware of how valiantly your husband is fighting to try and save you, Virgil.
Oh.
Keeping you up all night.
You are all still hearing like anime pain reactions, like that voiceover. That's all you're hearing from the speakers. Throughout, like that's it.
Evelyn,
Like a video game.
Virgil, you're not muted.
Evelyn, same thing. Break, physically attack the tentacles, disrupt the mystical flow, or save the crew.
Physically attack.
Yeah, go ahead and roll an attack.
Do I get 2 because I get 2 attacks per turn, or just 1?
You absolutely do. Well,
Okay, first,
yes, go ahead and roll it.
First one is 15. Second is 27.
The first one, Evelyn, you realize is not quite enough, as you sort of like hit this thing and realize the same thing that Kent did about what it's made out of, but sort of are able to adjust your approach slightly, and you do start making your way through them. Perfect. You don't need to smite or anything, because this is more of a skill challenge than a thing like that. Walnut, same thing. Break the chains, mystically disrupt the flow, help the crew.
I was doing that reflex.
Perfect.
That good old reflex. Let me get that D20 going. Ooh. Okay. So that's gonna be just a 15.
15 was exactly what you needed.
Great.
You tell me, Walnut, as these like tentacles are ripping out and lashing at them and trying to grab crew members and pull them into the void, what does it look like when Walnut is helping them?
I feel like her version of this is she just kind of like springs up and is just using cantrip after cantrip of Thorn Whip to just like pull them back and be like, no. You can't leave us here. You can't surrender us here. She's like, get back here.
It's
like,
I told you I'm too old for this.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And she just like flips them out.
You pull, like one of the times you lash out and you grab Anaka, the astral elf that is the first in command, with his pale, almost ghostly white flesh and star-speckled eyes, and looks at you and he just goes, whew. You had a 75% chance of success there, so I'm glad you saved my life. But I mean, you know what? I'm going to stop talking. I'm just going to say thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, Walnut's like, I can send you right back. And then just...
No, it's because that would probably work 100%. No, don't mind me. And he very much goes back to work. Strix, for the record, Thorn Whip, nowhere near as cool as your pulsating stinger tentacle whip. Strix, like, I mean, obviously. But same thing, physically break the chains, mystically disrupt the energy, or help the crew.
I'm gonna disrupt the energy.
All right, give me an Arcana check.
By just flailing my arm around with the tentacle.
Perfect.
So I got a 26 Arcana check.
More than enough. You see, every time you reach out and hit one of these tentacles with the whip, it just sort of disperses. It just sort of ceases to exist. Virgil, you are aware that these things are trying to make their way through the ship to the Spelljammer helm. You also give me an Arcana check.
Ugh. I believe in you.
I wish you had said that before I rolled. It's
Oh
a 12.
no! Oh.
Virgil, you are aware of these tentacles start actually, even though they're physically attacking, they start coming through the walls of the ship and reaching out to touch you. And as you're trying to will them away, you take 8 points of force damage as these things are kind of trying to make their way into your mind and into your soul. But through, give me one more will save, Virgil.
Wisdom.
Wait, thank you.
Wisdom. Sorry, wrong. Too many games.
I was
in my
like,
head.
that was so old. So I'm like, what?
Yeah. Too many additions, too many games.
It's a 10. I know. I can't do anything right tonight.
I gotta come back inside.
I was the ship. Wasn't that good? I was the ship
was
for a
so
minute.
good,
Like, that was
babe.
good,
It was.
right?
No, I'm so impressed. You went so fast.
You know what, Virgil? Because Tycho has not left your side during this and is breathing his cold air on all of these things that get close to you. I'm gonna let you roll that with advantage. Is your little familiar is doing everything he can to help you. And it just says, no, daddy, no, daddy, no.
No,
Oh.
no, it's still.
I'm very sorry for Virgil, but Photos is gonna love that.
Yeah, no, there's no focus. There is no ability to focus at all. It has honestly been too much. Virgil's perception has been expanded to encompass the actual like physicality and breadth and depth of the universe. And y'all are expecting him to now be able to fight off tendrils from space, tentacles. I really think you might be asking a little much.
The good news is, since everybody else succeeded in totality, you all do beat these tentacles back temporarily, and the ship is sort of drifting just out of their reach, but you see they're still very much there, coming out of the void that you have to fly through. And the captain, after all of this calms down, super afraid to just pull on this string, because I think we all know what's gonna happen. You know, he's gonna watch it.
Get
just
scissors.
unravel
Don't do it.
like
Oh,
a
God.
cartoon. Yeah, I'm like, I want to so bad. I want to just gum on it like Tycho. The captain says, something's wrong. I've talked to a dozen crew hands who sailed this boundary before, and I have never heard a word of this sort of thing. Even traveling through the far realms, our air bubble should have kept us safe from all but the worst corruption. I mean, as long as the captain and the crew set a careful course, which I did with the sextant, the light fantastic cannot survive this.
Too bad.
All of you give me Arcana or Nature checks.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Oh no to both.
Yeah,
Oh
both are
wow.
not great.
Oh no.
Oh, zippity doo on both.
Dirty 20 for me.
Woo!
Same.
Strix?
Definitely Arcana too, just to be very clear about that.
Got it.
Yeah, Arcana as well, and I got a 28.
Walnut and Virgil, again, what's up with the tentacles? There's just a lot of tentacles out here. The rest of you realize these things are just manifestations of pure corruption, which is what Bahamut warned you all about, that this would spread out into the prime material plane. So it's already starting, but that is where you have to go. And the captain looks and says, I have never failed to complete a mission, friends. Except that one time. I mean, okay, I failed twice, but that wasn't my, you know what? Sorry, never mind. What I meant to say was I can't complete this mission for you. I'm sorry, but we have got to turn back.
So if we turn back, this follows us and gets worse. Just to make sure that we understand the choices that we're making, right?
Yeah, we can't turn back. One stuck to my arm.
Incredibly much more persuasive than my version.
Maybe
Strix,
won't get
Strix, I'm gonna let you tell me, since we established you were hitting and dissipating. Does your tentacle change to look more like these corrupted energies of the far realms, or does it still just sort of look like a fleshy earthworm?
Oh no, absolutely. Coming in contact with these things, I think it is like, and it's like black, like veins on her arm, like it's like stuck and gross, and it's clearly getting corrupted. And she's like, I need magic to fix this. We have to go in there and fix it.
We have magic at home, Strix.
Not this magic!
Perfection.
Is not the first time Walnut has said, we have magic at home, Strix.
If we rolled Arcana, do we get the sense that these tendrils are magical? I mean, corrupting and all of that, but like magic?
It's like everything that had happened on that elven ship times 1,000. Like it will twist and ruin any ship or living thing that maintains contact with it. Quite frankly, not unlike what's happening to Strix. I will
totally
say,
fine.
What was you had a dirty 20, Strix? What do you recall what your result was?
It was like 28. It was really high.
You're pretty sure that Hadar's ritual again is working. That's why this is happening.
Yeah, I'm just like this. I know magic. You know me. I know what I'm talking about. This is bad. It's gonna keep going. It's gonna get all over the universe and all over the far realm, and then it's gonna come to Faerun, and all of our friends and family are gonna just look like big gross tentacles, and we're gonna have to go to holidays, and they're gonna be like, but we won't even know what they're saying.
Oh no, we can't let our friends and family be all. I mean, they're already drinking the tracking water.
Exactly. That's why I'm wearing the hat.
Evelyn, do you think Bala can maybe do the same thing that the big one did with the eye and make the tentacles go away?
While you all are trying to figure this out, you see the rift begins to roil and kind of bubble, and something comes hurtling out of it, a ship of some kind. This new vessel trails with rolling black threads of the rift behind it as it advances at speed, its unnatural form clearly marking it as a product of the far realm. Its jet black hull and weapons have a horrid organic look to them, including grappling jaws at the front of the ship that resemble a set of tentacles studded with razor-sharp teeth. Even more horrifying are the 4 crew members seen at the ship's helm and weapons. All appear to be oversized, naked gith with scabbed skin and twisting tentacle-like fingers and burning black eyes. When this happens,
ears.
Little teeny tiny ears. Your gift crew member Allred just goes, oh, that's not supposed to be like that. That's not the proper crew complement or make of that vessel. Hey, look at the size of them and the tininess of their ears. Oh.
So you're saying I can kill them for their tiny ears?
Oh, I mean, not for the tiny ears, but put them out of their misery for sure, man. My gosh. And as this ship comes barreling towards you all, now I need you to roll initiative.
Yeah.
Oh no!
God, Ken can get rid of these tiny-eared people.
Really?
You have to discuss the
I
ears.
don't know.
sometime.
Yeah, I
We've
don't
gotta
know why
figure
it
out.
upsets him so much.
It's like regular size ear supremacy.
They're such big creatures and they have such little ears.
I would like to say, just for the record, I realize that the polymorph resolved the astral dreadnought, but Bala had given it disadvantage and I'd already rolled the next attack and it was a natural 20 and it lost it because of Bala. So shout out to the little whale homie because it was about to smash somebody.
Yeah.
Wow.
On its
MVP.
next attack. On its
Amazing.
next attack. Also, the luck continues for you all because I rolled horrifically for the adversary for their advantage. Okay, Kent.
17.
All right, Evelyn.
22.
Nice.
Walnut.
12.
All right. Very consistent. It was 11 last time. Virgil.
11.
All right. Strix.
7.
You all basically, it's like this is the only Evelyn and Kent swap places. Otherwise, this is exactly what it was before.
If it's not
Consistency.
broke, don't fix it. Yes.
Yeah.
Evelyn,
Yes.
you see this ship coming headlong and is going to merge into the air envelopes the same way that the vampirates did. So you have a couple of options. You can attack them at range, or you can go aboard the ship.
The tentacles from the void, have they stopped?
No, but you all are out of the reach of the void tentacles, although this ship also has tentacles. Because of
Gotcha.
course it does. Why wouldn't
So
it?
that there's no melee immediate threat around me.
I mean, it is imminent. If you say that that is your intent, I will let you go ahead and engage them, because if you don't, they're going to engage on their turn anyway, because they're...
Well, first I'm gonna throw the dancing longsword.
All
Thank you,
right.
players of Idle Champions.
Thank you, players of Idle Champions.
That's a bonus action, and
Okay.
I'll speak the command word "but."
Yep.
And the ship, how many feet away is the ship right now?
I will say it is 60 feet.
So our air bubbles are connected.
Yes.
I am going to cast a spell at distance right now.
You can indeed.
The sword isn't going to be able to get there. It's just going to go to the edge of our air bubble and...
All right. Sword's ready to do its thing.
Uh-huh. And then I'm gonna just moonbeam on their ship.
All right.
Just a
Is
little
it
moonbeam.
just a little moonbeam? That's all. What's the save on that?
It is a con 18.
Okay. I unfortunately rolled very well. As it's getting closer, you realize one of them is bigger than the other three. There's 4 of them. They're all about double sized, but one of them is like covered in like chitinous armor that has grown. Again, GIF are hippo people, but these no longer really look like hippos. Like they have been twisted and turned into something quite different. But do
They're not
go ahead.
shape changers by chance, are they?
Yes. Well, actually, no. Sorry. No,
Oh.
they're not.
This spell has a specific effect on shape changers that I've never gotten to use. So.
Unfortunately, it doesn't.
Okay.
I will. That reaction is because the stat block I'm using is for a creature that is a shape changer, but these creatures are not shape changers. That's why I was like, indeed, not.
My tentacle gif are not shape changers.
Yeah, exactly. No, they're
All right.
they're quite stuck this way. But yes, they make the save, so half damage.
Oh
Go
yeah,
ahead.
I have to roll the damage. That's what
Yep.
yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
give it to me when you got it. But Kent, it is your turn.
All right, so this is horrifying, and I don't want to get anywhere near them. So I'm going to start climbing up some rigging just to get a little bit of the high ground on them. And I'm going to send photos with a very specific instruction. Now, photos, go burn them, not meat. They look wrong, not me. I know. I will fight, but not. I know.
Daddy,
Say it. Uh-huh.
Tentacle fingers meet.
All right. Well, I look over at Strix and see the tentacle growing out of her arm.
She's
And
like,
you see photos very much with the slow turn.
Okay, you know what, Photos? I think you'll be fine, but eat them, not her. Go!
Yeah, yeah. All right. Photos very much leaps into action. Yes.
Great. And whichever one he heads to, I guess as a bonus action, he'll his little thing is that he breathes solar energy and does 1d6, I think is radiant damage, and lights him up like guiding bolt for the next attack roll against them. Gets advantage.
One of them clearly looks more menacing than the other 3.
Well, unfortunately, I think that's the one Photos would probably gravitate towards.
Go ahead and yeah, I don't think he has to attack. He just does it, correct?
I think so, yeah.
Yep.
So 1d6
All right.
radiant, and then the next attack roll against it has advantage. So that
Perfect.
is 5 radiant damage.
Every point counts.
And then that was the bonus action to commend him, question mark?
Yes.
Great, then I'll use my action to grab some daggers out my new bracers and chuck them at that gif.
Have at it.
So the first one will have advantage because he's lit up.
While you're doing this, Evelyn, do you have that moonbeam damage?
Yeah, half would be 6 radiant.
All right. Still counts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
Alright,
that is a 28 to hit. And it's gonna do
more than enough.
an amount of damage if that d6 will stop jittering and just like, oh my god.
Mhm.
Okay, there we go. It got
You
stuck.
t-
There were too many. 8 plus
you-
33 is 41 plus 18 is 59 damage to that gif. Some of that's necrotic if that matters.
It does not. 59, you say?
59, and then one of the other gifts nearby also gets attacked by some spectral creepy stuff and takes 20 necrotic.
Perfect. Excellent. Anything else from Kent?
Good job, photos. Take a bite. You earned it.
Okay.
I told you.
Maybe next time you listen to Daddy.
And of course,
Not you,
Tychos-
Virgil.
Tychos puts a wing over his mouth. Silly. Perfect. Walnut, you are next, and Virgil, you're on deck. Virgil, you are able to cast your spells, even though you are spell jamming and affect targets, for the record. But Walnut, it is your turn.
Yes. Okay, so seeing Evelyn do a little beam gives Walnut an idea to also moonbeam.
Twins.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, it's just like slightly on the delay. It's like, yeah, at the same time.
I mean,
little bit
you know what it
later.
is? Normally this works on Faerun, but here there's so many moons. It's just like lights coming from like...
I know, the lag time, the spatial lag time, and that I didn't
true.
account for.
It's true. Blue shift, yes.
Absolutely true. It's the
what
con
is-
save.
Con, they have not insignificant con.
Well, how about
what is
19?
it? Yeah. Unfortunately, not enough. 17 is what they got. So none of them make the save.
Well, you'll love to know that this is at the 5th level. So we're
Okay.
going to do 5d10, please. Something.
Have at it.
Ooh. Yes. Okay. So that's going to be 34.
34 is the... So
Ah.
Evelyn's moon comes and just kind of like sizzles a little bit, and they just kind of look at each other. And then Walnut's like, whoa. Yeah. Sorry, that was how much? Sorry.
So it was altogether, that's 34.
Perfect. All right.
Evelyn's is like, twinkle, twinkle, Saturn moon.
Just like I push my moonbeam through yours, and it's just like it bulks it up.
Yep.
It's like the equivalent of like I shot an arrow and then you shot like 6 arrows into the same arrow.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly.
It's like the soul unit from Akira for the OGs there. Exactly. Just like
Yes.
a column of death.
It's exactly that.
Perfect. Sorry, keeping track of their stuff here. Good news, bad news. You guys are doing a great job burning them down. Because if you don't, on their turn, a lot of unpleasant things are going to happen. So, no pressure. Virgil, your turn.
Well, wow, yeah. Virgil, while spelljamming, has basically perceived everything that's going on over there, and having had his mind slightly expanded, casts Ice Storm against their on their deck.
Perfect. And what's the save there?
Dex 18.
The bigger, badder one made the save. The other 3 didn't.
Perfect, because I'm centering it on the bigger, badder one anyway.
Perfect.
20-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder of a hail of rock-hard ice, which in this case is just the form of like frozen micrometeorites that are basically just swirling and coming right into their air bubble. And that is going to
Like comet
be-
chunks. Yep. And Strix, you're up
Let's
next, by the way.
It's gonna be 48 bludgeoning, so 4d8 bludgeoning, so that's 23 bludgeoning damage, and come on, do the math for me. 14
sorry,
14
just-
cold damage. damage. Oh, go ahead.
14 cold.
So that's-
You see the rocks are hitting them, but it doesn't seem like the ice is affecting them as much as you would have thought. What kind? Moonbeam's radiant, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect, excellent. Anything else there from Virgil?
With that, regardless of where Tycho is, whether Tycho's there or not, Tycho, help other daddy.
You see, he sort of looks at you for a second and says, "Does Tycho have to help Photos?"
No.
Okay, Daddy. And just like, and goes flying out. Perfect. Okay, excellent. Anything else?
Mm-mm.
Great. Strix, it is your turn.
All right. I've been trying to debate what Strix is going to do here. I think she's afraid that these things are going to, I don't know, like if she polymorphs them, it might be too weird. Like things are like too like really
that
weird.
Would be too weird.
Like
Starting
like,
now, it would be too weird, really?
Yeah, I don't know. So she's like, I don't know. We're debating between polymorph and fireball. Like, will they catch on fire? She's like, is there fire in space? Like, there's this whole debate going into her head. She's like, if we explode, is there fire in space? We don't know. There's no oxygen. What do we do?
I mean, there's stars and stuff, and they manage, so
it's true. That's true. So I think she just kind of like asks Kuba, and she's like, Kuba, should I like fireball them or like turn them into adorable chickens? She's like, Kuba, and if she sees Kuba's paying attention.
Kuba is literally a pig, so I think it's always going to sign on for chicken over fire. You again, Strix. You get the distinct impression. All of you get the distinct impression. Even Treppy, that seems like a baby. Like when you talk to them, like there's comprehension in their eyes. I mean, it just so happens Tychos and Photos can talk. They can speak Draconic. But there is like, you're like chicken, or it looks at you and it folds its wings in and it goes wait.
And I'm like, but you just want to eat them.
Wait.
I'm very disappointed in you, Kuba. I thought we were vegetarians.
Photos is like, tentacle lady meat.
No, okay, that's it. I just fireball them because I'm like, you don't get any chicken. We are vegetarians in this house.
Yeah. And you see Tycho very much looks at you like, wait.
And I'm like, here's a turnip. I don't know where it came from. It's in my robe. And I give
I'm
him
just
a turnip.
saying, I don't know that vomit is vegetarian, and you've already fed this pig quite a bit.
It's fair. We've changed our mind.
That's a sentence I just said out loud, that I don't know if vomit is vegetarian.
I whisper very softly, listen, we're flexitarians. Sometimes we just have to eat vomit, okay? But it's better for the environment. We can't help it, all right? We're just trying our best.
Wait.
Excellent. Thank you, Kuba.
It's upcycling. It's upcycling.
We're upcycling. We're very into this, but we also have, if we're starving, we have to do our best. Anyway, fireball.
What is the save?
All right, I'm going to cast it at 8th level.
Okay.
And it is a 19 dex save. It's thinking really hard about it.
Got 18 and 17 where they're, so they don't make the save. Go ahead.
And it's 41 damage.
41.
Now that we've just had this like philosophical meat discussion with the pig, Strix is like, wait, you're also a pig.
Is greedy as a pig. 41. Strix. Couple things. This would have killed all 4 of them.
All right.
But they're resistant to fire.
Oh no! My philosophical debate.
So they are all still standing, but barely.
I just look at Kuba and I go, you did this!
Wait. Hang on, let me make
Tentacle lady
here.
cook meat for Photos.
Exactly. Like, good job, tentacle lady. Unfortunately, Strix, as the explosion goes off, and all of you were like, oh, they're dead. Strix just basically dropped a thermonuclear reaction on them with an 8th level fireball. The swirling steam of the ice and fire melting and interacting dissipates, and you see them all grievously wounded standing there, and you see the wounds start healing.
No.
And 3 of them hold up their hands, and fireballs come out for you all. And
No!
the main one breathes a cloud of poison out over all of you. And I think that is an excellent time to take a little break. So we'll do a quick 10 before we resolve significant amounts of damage.
No.
You guys are this close to killing them all. I rolled a 1 on their initiative. Literally, they had 6 hit points left after that.
If only I'd cast Moonbeam at a higher level, we wouldn't be in this situation.
If only we weren't resistant to fire.
If only they hadn't made the save. But hopefully they're going to be saying the same thing about you all when we get back. We're going to do a quick 10. Don't go nowheres. Hello and welcome back. You all missed out on just some truly disgusting conversation
really
during the break. But speaking of truly disgusting, it's the monster's turn. So here's how we're gonna do this. I need each of you, even you, Virgil, to give me 3 dex saves and 1 con save.
If anyone is near me, they get +4 on saves.
I'm gonna say everybody but Virgil, unfortunately, is near you.
Dex save, 2 dex saves and 1 con save?
3 dex saves and 1 con save. Good news, bad news. Good news is the DC is not terribly high. The bad news is the damage is, as you all have 3 fireballs incoming and 1 cloud kill.
What was your bonus for us, Evelyn? 5?
+4.
4.
Okay.
Hang on 1 second here.
No.
I'm gonna do it like this. Here's how we're gonna do it.
Everything. Oh my gosh.
You know, thank you for your service. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Steer the ship. It'll be a great time. Let's go.
Hang on, sorry. I'm having to pull up a digital die roller here.
So mad I
Okay.
don't have counterspell.
So, yeah, I was about to say you wouldn't have been able to. You super would have. They're casting spells. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Oh, if they are, then I get, because my baby astral dreadnought gives me whiffle magic,
Yep.
which gives me advantage on saving throws against spells or other magical effects.
yes, although I flavored it otherwise. These are definitely spells they're casting. Okay, so first, dex save. The difficulty is 14. Again, it's not terribly high. If you do not make the save, it is 37 points of fire damage. If you do make the save, it's 16, not counting any mitigation that you might have.
I think I have some mitigation for this.
Perfect. But 14, so that's, oh, sorry, go ahead. It's worth looking because it's about to be relevant.
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry. I know that I have, yeah, everyone within 10 feet of me has resistance to damage from spells.
Oh, well, there you go.
Half it again.
I'm also resistant to fire, being a tiefling.
Then actually, that means you half it again. Like your resistances can stack. So
Oh, wow.
This doesn't hurt Strix much at all. That's the first fireball. The second one coming down range.
Wait, so we take half if we made the save?
Yes, and then half it again because you're resistant. So yeah.
Is that 18 to 9?
Second one is 26, not counting mitigation and cutting stuff in half. Still DC 14. Third fireball. Third fireball is 34.
Wait, 34 to hit?
No, damage.
Oh.
Because three separate fireballs coming.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, they're all DC 14, I see.
They're all DC 14. And the cloud kill,
Oh no.
which is a con save. as a sickening cloud of poison rolls over the deck of the ship.
Oh.
Now, again, not counting any mitigation or resistance. Or, I mean, I mean, what I mean is the damage.
Oh.
That is a DC 15 for this. 15.
My soul trinkets give me advantage on con saves, which is good because I got a 5 the first time.
You're like the poison's coming towards, and you're like, oh no!
Exactly.
Right.
I already think Kent, seeing the fireballs, because I have evasion and I made all the saves, so Kent took no damage from the fireballs. So I think I was up there on the rigging and just found like a barrel of water and like fish and just dove into it and remained in there until the fireballs were gone. But then unfortunately I stuck my head up as the cloud kill was coming.
Just you and Photos in there, just like wholly unfazed by all of this. Yeah. The cloud kill, I roll very poorly, so you got that going for you, is only 20 points of poison damage. DC 15 con.
Half on a save.
Half on a save.
Got it.
And half again for your resistance to spells.
Oh, right.
Yep. Although something else might happen with a cloud kill. Sorry. Nope. Just damage. Yes.
Okay. Is Virgil considered within range for any of Evelyn's help?
I mean,
Unfortunately,
technically I'm standing on you.
aren't, Virgil.
Technically.
Unfortunately, you are not.
Let me do some math. This is not good math that I'm doing right now.
Uh-huh. Is Virgil still conscious?
Virgil is unconscious. You have felt the ship just lurch and start listing.
Oh.
Not falling, not moving, just it's like, yeah, Virgil's basically
As the ship starts listing, you realize flames start sweeping across the hull from the fireballs it just took. In the tentacles of the other ship reach out and wrap around the light fantastic and start crushing it.
Uh-oh.
Like the deck and everything starts to shatter under your feet. And you see bits of it start to fly away out into space as even the air pocket around it starts to grow unstable between the damage and the fact that your spelljammer is unconscious. However, that does bring us back to the top, and Evelyn, it is your turn.
Save us.
Am I still 60 feet away from them?
You'd say you're 30 feet now. They've gotten much closer.
That sounds like melee range to me.
Absolutely.
All right, I move in and take some smacks.
Go ahead.
All right, first one is a dirty 20 to hit.
More than enough. Are you going after the big one or one of the?
The big one.
Perfect. Give me the damage from just that one. Actually, give me the damage from just that one. There's a real chance you're gonna finish him, so I don't want you to waste your attack. And Kent, you're on deck.
That's 15.
15 damage.
Well, I'm assuming that if he looks like very, very close to death, I'm not using any divine smite because I don't need to waste it.
I will tell you that is not going to be enough to kill him.
All right.
He does look very close to death, but 15 is not enough.
All right. Well, Evelyn probably knows about how many units of health healing they have.
Exactly.
So, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Divine Smite.
I'm going to tell you because again, Evelyn, you've been doing this a while. You think your lowest level smite is probably enough. Obviously, fate is fickle. Who knows? But you don't feel like you need to just pump in obsessive power into this thing.
Okay, great. So then just one spell slot. Do.
Little tap.
Just a little tap. And it's not an undead or a fiend, right?
It is not.
Then that's just a little extra 7 on top of what I already told you. Is that still not enough?
I know. I said it had 25 hit points.
I can't retcon that. That's
3. You know what? We're among friends here, and the light of Lathander shines upon you. If you would like to make it a second level spite instead.
I don't need to do that because I have the butt sword, the sword of butt hander.
The sword of butt hander, absolutely.
And as a bonus action, and I have a second attack too.
Well, I was gonna let you use the second attack on one of the other ones because you have a real chance at finishing them. Honestly, in the interest of transparency, the big one has 25 hit points. The 3 little ones have 26 each. They were dead.
Okay.
They regenerate. They were closer to death, but they heal.
I hate the healing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna can I just use that bonus action right now with the butt hand or sword?
I will let you wedge it in the middle. Yep, for sure.
Okay. And then it does ability score modifier to damage. Where's the damage? 1d8 plus 4.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna do.
I won't even make you roll. He's got 3. Evelyn, as you come and smash this thing, and it kind of stumbles backwards, and you look into its eyes, and there is nothing even remotely sentient there anymore. There is just chaos. You tell me what it looks like when the spiritual weapon finishes it.
It shoots rainbows out of its eyes. And Evelyn says, "Go forth into the light of a new dawn," as it just like slumps in front of her.
To the ground, and you still have one more attack.
I turn around and swing at the fellow Gif with the battle axe.
Go ahead and roll it.
Uh-oh. That's only going to be 16 to hit.
That actually is not enough because they do have this armored skin.
I am fumbling.
Mm-hmm. You do notice the ice storm has dissipated, which is an indication that maybe something might have happened to Virgil. All of you see that the ice storm stops and the ship is listing before all of this other chaos erupts. Kent, it is your turn. There is 3 of them left standing.
Yeah, that's nice. I don't think Kent has ever experienced Virgil falling unconscious in the line of adventuring. Certainly, he knows that like it happened to both of us, but we didn't get to know each other until we were much more experienced adventurers. Kent does not like this, it turns out. So I'm gonna grab photos and just start running for the helm.
I'll say you can get to him. Virgil, you tell me what it looks like. What's the scene when he arrives down there?
Essentially, like I don't know how the helm really works, but
it's like you just sort of sit in a chair. It's like and there's little wires connected to you, and in this case, that sextant, like one of its tentacles attached directly to your head.
Yeah, so you see that the tentacle is still attached to his head, but it's really just, it is the pet that has fallen asleep. Like Virgil is just gone, limp, and there doesn't appear to be any like, it's weird. Like the magical damage really was transferred through the ship, so physically it's like, but. Yeah, you come down and everything is still connected. Virgil's still in the chair, but he's kind of lolled over, not looking good and not moving.
You see Tycho is on his chest going, Daddy, 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 wake up, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy.
All of this was done without thinking because I don't know what to do, but I run over to him and, the truth is I probably smack him once just to see if he's just asleep or, can sort of come to a little. And when listen, you're fine. You won't even know I did it. You're unconscious. I don't know. I think Kent sort of a little bit loses it because he really doesn't know what to do. He does not have, I'm not magic. I can set my sword on fire. That's about it. So I think it's just sort of panicking, trying to, in terms of an actual action, I don't think there is one. I think Kent's just panicking.
Give me a medicine check.
Sure. It's an 11.
Hold on, let me just double check something here.
Oh, this is sad.
Yeah, I think neither of us ever really acknowledged that this was a possibility, and it just hasn't ever happened since we met.
Really?
Yeah, the rivals get into a lot of trouble, but very little combat.
What's that like, not seeing your friends die all the time?
Wow.
No.
Evelyn
Again,
says
as I
with
said,
deep, dark pain in her eyes.
The trauma is palpable.
Evelyn has lived an interesting life. Kent,
Yeah.
with an 11
Yeah.
in the ship crushing in around you, the only
Yeah.
thing that you know from that is that this is not good.
I think I start
what was it?
screaming for
Yes.
Evelyn and Walnut.
You all
Not
hear
Strix.
Kent's distressed screams coming from down in the hold, but Walnut, it is your turn. 3 of these things are still standing. Evelyn over there fighting bravely, the ship being crushed around you, and Kent screaming from down below. What would you like to do?
Hearing Kent scream and noticing the motion of the ship and everything, Walnut also coincidentally thought that she lost her wife in space while spell jamming. So that kind of comes flooding back, and for a moment she's taken aback, and then she she closes her eyes for a second, like steadies herself, and then when she opens them, it's just like pure rage. And then, even though, gosh, it doesn't make sense, she just like raises a 8th level moonbeam at these things, even though they're so close to death. Just like,
Walnut, what emotion would you say is at the forefront of her mind right now? In the midst of all of this, if there was one that you had to identify.
it is just deep, like instinctual rage and anger.
You all see Walnut's hands hold up in the moonbeam forming, and her eyes begin to glow brighter than you've seen, actually. Evelyn and Strix, you've seen your friend do great and wondrous things, and yet this is something completely different, because it so happens the good players of Idle Champions have voted that Walnut would receive double dice today.
Oh.
Double damage dice. So I'm still gonna roll to make the, actually I'm not, because it is almost and I even got a 1 on the save. Fate has determined that these things are supposed to die. Walnut, you tell me what it looks like when you eradicate these things.
All right, I just want to see what it. Oh, goodness.
Oh yeah, no, give it, no, oh yeah, roll it up, yeah. Sorry,
I did.
I don't
Oh,
want to take
lovely.
that unique joy away from you.
Oh, I do love it. So I would say that it's like I usually imagine Moonbeam as like having just like a very like tinny sort of silvery sound to it. But this one, it's like where it's just a huge beam. Like there's just no sound for a second, and you feel it kind of like thump in your chest. And then it's just 70 points of damage of radiant, brilliant rage.
What color is your radiant damage?
Oh, dang. I feel like it's just like, it's like gold in the center, just like that. And then the emanating that red.
I rolled a 1 and a 20. 2 of them just immediately cease to exist. But one of them turns and looks at you, Walnut, and is starting to come forward and still holding its hands out, but just disintegrating in front of you as it comes, trying to reach out through the moonbeam, and just collapses and is eradicated into ashes in front of you. In the moment they all die, the ship stops squeezing, but is basically just holding the Light Fantastic in place, and quite frankly, together. But now that we are out of combat, and you all hear Kent's distress from downstairs, what would you all like to do?
First, I spit on the tentacles. Just cut the tension.
Priorities.
I say, well, I look to secure the ship. I don't want it to like come back to life or float away with us or anything like that. So I'm gonna yell like, Strix, let me know if you need me. And then I'm gonna try to go about like basically commandeering this ship, this new one.
You see very quickly Evelyn, that the energy of the far realm has clearly infused the vessel of the corrupted Gif, whose once sleek form has a scabrous feel to it now. Wherever lines and edges meet along the deck and hull, some sort of optical illusion makes those points appear to shift constantly from the corner of the eye. The entirety of the far realm's vessel's hull appears to have been covered with a black shell, obscuring its former features. That shell has then been scoured with fine wire to leave a chaotic pattern of lines and scratch marks etched into every surface and highlighting the faint impression of the name that was once painted across the vessel's prow, the Hieronymus.
Oh. Oh no.
It kind of
Why?
has an aesthetic, you know what I mean?
Evelyn, Strix, Walnut.
I hear
Alright,
screaming.
As long as she doesn't think the ship is going to like up and float away, then Evelyn will come running too.
Perfect. Yeah,
we're
there's no
going.
one. There's no one else aboard. As you all come down there, you see the scene as described. Now with Kent, also, actually, Kent, you tell me what is the scene when they arrive down there?
It's a lot of like Kent is getting up and like running to try and like look and see if there's something that he could like, maybe there's some healing potion somewhere in the hold, and then he runs back over to Virgil, and maybe if he takes the tentacle off but he can't get it off, so he runs somewhere else to try and find something to just frantic kind of movements.
As you all make your way down into the room, you see Virgil slumped over. Virgil, I need you to give me a death save.
How do I even do that? I've never done that before.
What, really?
I mean,
I'm telling y'all.
We've led a very social life, not a very fighty one.
This is a freeze response you're seeing to this information. Just
I mean, for the rest of us, that's Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, how do I do that?
So if you in D&D Beyond, if you lower your hit points to 0, it will pull up the death saves thing, and you can click right there to roll a death save. It'll switch over if you manually tell it that you're out of hit points.
All right. No.
what a beautiful life
Not?
you must lead.
Actually, it won't roll it for you. Here's what you do: you roll a 20, no modifier at all. If you get a 1 through a 10, or 1 through 10 is a failure. If you get a 1, that is actually 2 failures. 11 through 20 is a success, and if you get a 20, you actually will wake up. If you fail 3 times, you will die. No pressure.
The first one's an 18.
You, Kent, as you are just frantically trying things, you hear him take a little bit of a deeper breath, but does not wake up. As the rest of you run into the room, you see the scene as described, but you see Photos and Tycho are actually kind of comforting each other in the corner, shaking,
Oh no!
watching this happen.
Evelyn will rush to Virgil and lay on hands.
Oh yeah, don't worry, we die all the time.
Yeah, it's no big deal. Just a
Yeah.
sec.
I can't
It's
even
still-
count how many times I've died.
It's a big deal.
1, 2.
I have to, one
3,
quick thing before we resolve this healing.
4.
Virgil, I have to ask you a question here.
Oh.
Keep track.
Vamp, everybody.
The
Yeah,
suspense.
keep
Oh, we-
track of the healing. The healing is not going to resolve just yet. You are going to get to heal him, so you can still tell me what the numbers are when I get to you here.
I just started with a conservative little 20. Just wake him
Okay.
up with a 20.
All right, perfect.
Pick up
I'm just
power
like,
bar.
Kent, do you know what
Yeah.
god or goddess he worships? Does he have a, like, then we can figure out where he goes. We can fly there. We're in a spelljammer. I think we'll get there just fine.
This I think actually freaks Kent out more, because neither of it, like, I study gods, and I don't know what verb Virgil would use, but I don't think worship is the correct one. So now Kent is like, what if he doesn't go anywhere? What if this doesn't work and he doesn't go anywhere,
don't
and then
worry,
I can't find
don't worry. If you don't go
Evelyn
anywhere,
puts
I think you go to
one
this
hand-
like wall in the Shadowfell where everyone's like in a wall, and then you have to like pull them out of the wall before their souls disintegrate.
Evelyn has one hand healing Virgil and puts one hand on on Kent and is like, "Have you heard the good word?"
Oh my God.
Oh my
No.
Oh my
I
god.
want to
Oh my
know
god.
after death where you will go. All you need to look to is the morning.
Can I slide in between Evelyn and Kent, and I just grab Evelyn's hand and I swing it like we're holding hands?
Evelyn's happily like, "Yay!"
I have one last question there, Virgil.
Hmm.
I typed it in here. Sorry.
Sweet.
Turn upon things.
Can I?
Well,
Okay.
hang on, Virgil. You feel the flames lashing at the ship. You feel the tentacles cracking around it, and it feels like somebody is breaking the bones of your own body. You feel yourself slipping away into unconsciousness, and you're aware of Kent screaming and desperately trying to help you, but it's like he's 1,000 miles away. You feel darkness consume you. It wasn't clear what was supposed to happen when you die, Virgil. You've had friends encounter it. Celise believes she'll be reunited with Tyr. You've seen people die and come back again, but here there's nothing but an absence of void until you see what looks like a huge desiccated heart 50 feet across, and floating above the heart, just visible through a storm of eldritch power, is a single figure whose armored skin is pale ivory, whose head is set with a bone white crown. Some sort of red sigil is set across their chest, and they're shrouded by a cloak of writhing tentacles and roiling eldritch power. Tendrils of that power extend down into the heart, twisting and snapping. And you see it turns its head and looks at you, and its head is not human. And it reaches out a hand for you, and you know with certainty it will consume you utterly. And you feel a pair of hands wrap around you from behind in a warm embrace, and a face comes just out of the field of your vision as your Deva looks up with panic and looks at you and yanks you back as Evelyn pumps her divine magic into you and
Hi, did you see Lathander?
What?
It's
Where-
okay. I know it
where
can be
was-
real jarring the first time.
Where's Kent? Is he okay?
Here, I'm here.
Evelyn moves out of the way to and pushes Kent to kneel down next to Virgil.
Are you?
I'm sorry, I have to. The ship out of danger?
It's stupid. What a stupid question. Yes, it is. Are you?
It's not my best day. And he looks at Evelyn and just says, "Thank you."
No
Thank you.
problem. So the ship's kind of falling apart.
Evelyn, give us a second. While you can see Walnut's also crying watching this. Just
This is a really big moment for Evelyn because she's literally forgotten how to deal with death because it happens so often that she's
Yes.
"Oh, you're up now. Let's go."
Yeah.
like, why would this be traumatic? Sure, right.
Yeah.
And so I
Strix
think
is-
that actually hits her kind of hard to realize how many times she's watched her friends die. So she actually turns uncharacteristically quiet and her eyes glisten a little bit and she kind of steps back.
Yeah, Strix will just elbow her and be like, "Yeah, it's first time,
Evelyn will just kind of snuggle into Strix's shoulder and plug her nose, but snuggle.
You see
She pats her.
over in the corner, you see all of the familiars are kind of banding together like they were when you opened the cages, that they're all just sort of leaning against each other.
No.
I'm
Now,
snuggling
Strix.
them though.
starts to cry. The animals are so happy.
That makes Evelyn cry, and Walnut was already crying, so everyone's
No,
just.
I wasn't crying.
Big group. Can we have a group hug? It's a group hug.
No.
Dusty.
I'd
down
bring the
here.
tentacle around
Right.
to get a group hug.
And like, kind of Virgil's like weakly, kind of like wiping tears away. Where's the captain?
You see, she comes down, very frantic, and just says, "Thank you, all of you. My crew'd be dead without you. My babies. We'll get her patched up eventually, probably. Actually, the light fantastic, probably never gonna fly again. Great. I'm open to suggestions because otherwise we're going to die out here soon when the air bubble dissipates."
We could take the other ship.
Okay. Okay. With this corruption, if it's spreading into astral space, that's bad. It seems like somebody needs to fix. I'm not that somebody, but you seem like somebody's. But if I and my crew can help you figure this out, we're with you. We can fly any ship, no matter how cursed and corrupted and awful it is. Great.
I mean, every new trend looks awful at first, but then you kind of get into the aesthetic and you start to feel it, you know? So, like, maybe.
No, we're doing this.
You see, she comes over to the sextant and she says, "Well, I don't know if we need this," but she begins unhooking it. And she extends a hand to you, Virgil, to help you up.
Well, that other, no, Evelyn's right. That other ship seemed to be okay from that void.
Kent.
Yeah.
Give me an insight check with advantage, because you know your husband.
Yeah. Advantage gives me 16.
Like you said, you all have never experienced anything like this. But you do see there's something in Virgil's eyes, like he's almost kind of looking off into the distance. Like it's like he saw something that scared him.
Captain, how long do you think the air envelope will last?
I mean, I'll rally the crew. You know, they gotta get the gear off here and switch over. I mean, you got 10 minutes, eight, 7,
Okay.
probably.
Well,
6.
before it gets to 6, why don't
Yes.
you get that started and we'll be right with you.
Got it. And she actually looks at all of you and she's like, could you all help us move this out? Maybe we could make it happen a little faster.
Yep, let's go.
And
I'll grab Virgil to stay down while they go up real quick.
Can we ask the familiars to help that are ours at least? as well?
Absolutely.
I'm like,
Yep.
Kuba, come on, we need your little wingies.
Kuba flies back and forth, goobering up wares back and forth to the ship, which, as you all cross over, is as described, filled with a horrible corruption and impossible architecture, but it very much is still flyable. But Kent, like Virgil.
Are you okay?
No.
Yeah, that's fair. What happened?
It's hard to describe, like a memory that doesn't want to stay. There was something beyond.
Something.
It was horrifying. I think
Okay.
that we have to do what we were sent here for. I cannot imagine anyone.
Yeah, but I don't. don't know if I can do that again, Virgil.
Have to go.
Okay. Do you remember anything that might be useful? I mean, I assume it was whatever is out there.
It was, and because Brian has a horrible memory, Virgil kind of recounts what was described in very, like, not quite super detailed. And all I know is that it turned to look at me. And in that moment, even with what had just happened, I felt like I'd be gone. Until then, I was back with you.
It's like the opposite of what I wanted to hear. Okay. I mean, I guess that's what we got into this for. Let's go.
Virgil, more than anything, you were completely clear on exactly what's at stake.
Yeah.
As you all head out, you do switch over to this objectively terrible vessel, but as you set out towards the rift, a thin line of shadow erupts once more as the tangled threads of dark energy, and the captain screams, "Hold on!" as you pick up speed and dive right into this rift. And as the rift yawns wide, the storm of shadowy threads opens up before you. The bright light of the astral sea is suddenly torn away by gray and purple shadows against a void of oily black. Bright stars hang in that void, their chill light shivering as it flares, fades, and then flares again. Suddenly the storm ends. The black void surrounds you, the freezing stars shedding a putrid dim light across the Hieronymus's deck. The Far Realms. We're here. In the moment she says this, you all start to hear ba-boom, 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 as the box that Bahamut gave you begins to vibrate with a rhythmic heartbeat. Just
That's probably fine.
for the record,
Ew.
who's carrying that box?
Not
I
it.
don't remember.
It's up to you all.
Did I hold it because it was gross?
I think that you
I
did.
think you
That
did.
sounds
No,
right.
Virgil got the diamond. You got the box. I think.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm holding it because it's
Yeah.
gross. Okay.
Although Strix, you can feel it, all of you hear it, but the captain doesn't seem to. As you all sort of like look around, like, what is that? You know what I mean? And kind of like look at the box. She's like, what? What?
Does it have like a lid?
It does. Although you might recall Bahamut told you, don't
Oh,
look at
yeah.
it.
Don't open it.
Yeah. Don't open it.
Oh, I'm so tempted though. I want to look at it.
Who wants to hold the box now?
Oh my god, this is such a bad thing for Strix. Strix wants to take a peek so bad.
Your glowing white eyes are like, "Ah."
Yeah.
He's very excited. Just like,
Yeah, it's full-blown Pulp Fiction. Don't open the briefcase, you
Right,
know?
right.
But although he did tell you it was a piece of himself,
Yeah.
but he also told you don't open the box. And I appreciate you're going full 7 right now. What's in the box?
Evelyn doesn't like anyone to be left out, so grabs the captain and is like, "Don't you hear that? It's a heartbeat coming from the box. Very ominous."
So I rolled to see if I opened the box. Just to take a peek. A little tiny baby peek. And if I rolled below a 10, I took a tiny peek. If I rolled above a 10, I didn't. I rolled an 8. So Strix she's like, if I just open a little teeny tiny, just a teeny tiny little peek. Like nothing could happen to me, just like very like a millimeter.
You love a player who plays their character.
She can't help it. She can't help it. It's making a noise. It sounds sloppy.
P2 space, like
I feel like Walnut watching this like sees it happen in slow motion
Yeah.
and just like can't like move fast enough to make it stop. Just like
I'm so sorry. She has to. She has to.
I know, no,
You know.
No,
I
we get
know.
it.
you know. Oh God.
She has no respect for gods either. So it's also just like, yeah, I'll open it. I'm cool.
I'm cooler than Bahamut. Can't tell me what to do.
Strix.
Oh, God.
Enjoy.
That was such a long name.
Enjoy.
I'm so sorry.
speaking of watching your friends die.
Give me a wisdom save.
Okay.
You get +4.
Okay. Oh boy, I'm so
Don't
sorry.
waste it.
I'm sorry she's like this. I'm so sorry.
We're not.
Oh, okay. 14.
Let me ask one question here in chat, by the way.
Okay. Why is it making a noise?
I mean,
No.
I'm asking a question because consent's important.
Uh,
Oh god.
Yeah, but
Oh.
Perfect.
I think the answer is no.
Not you was my favorite.
Strix.
Not you.
No, wait.
It's okay.
Yes,
Strix.
We got
Yes.
Is you all hearing the boom boom, boom boom, boom boom, boom boom. Strix opens the box and a blinding flash of light comes out and you see Strix's head snaps backwards and she falls to the deck dead.
5 times.
Your
The
fifth
box
time's always a doozy.
clatters to the ground and Strix, you again, you've done this a few times now,
So sorry.
but this time it's different. It is like this place, this horrible place, the corruption and chaos of the far realms has managed to diffuse deep down into death itself. You hear whispers from everywhere and nowhere at once. You swear out of the corner of your eye, you see mind flayer tadpoles sliding towards you, but they never quite reach. And then you hear screaming. Like someone is being tortured, agonizing. And ahead of you,
It's not Evelyn, is it? It's not my friends.
you see a person being held aloft by tentacles of red energy, and something is coming out of them. And she rotates and looks at you, and you see a face you recognize. Is Tiamat the Dark Lady, but her eyes are sunken in and black webs are all over her face. And she says, "You come to carve a piece off of me as well? Haven't you already done enough, you and your heroes?"
Strix like just pulls her like cloak like over her face. So she's just like
I told you. Then nothing can stop Tiamat. I assure you, I will find a way. I will have my revenge. Meanwhile, on the ship, I am sure a number of you have access to ways to bring your friend back again.
You know how Evelyn had that moment of kind of connecting and undissociating from the horror of watching her friends die all the time? The dissociation instantly comes back, just complete, like,
oh no.
everyone, it's fine, like comforting everyone else. Don't worry, happens all the time. It's totally fine. And she's talking to them as she's rifling through Strix's cloak, looking for something. And she's like, "Oh yeah, no worries. We're always prepared." And she pulls out this giant
wait.
diamond worth.
I need one thing. You can find the diamond, but beforehand, Strix, what's the worst thing in Strix's pockets? Because she's got to be carrying some choice stuff. Like, is Evelyn reaches her hand in the first wrong pocket.
Oh boy, yeah, she's had some stuff in there for a while.
I gotta tell you, Holly,
no.
I went back and I read the item descriptions for Strix and Idle Champions, and they are beautiful.
Chris gave me those. He gave me those. Strix was in Barovia for 80 years by herself, and she collected them all.
Amazing.
Yeah, so there's like Stinky's ashes might have spilled out in there, so rat ashes, nails from a vampire's coffin, a mummified dinosaur claw, the diamonds, a child's tea set with an eye on the bottom.
I swear I thought you were gonna say a child's teeth.
Yep, same. Hard same.
Might be some of there might be some of those just thrown in.
In the teapot, it kind of wraps.
Oh yeah,
Evelyn,
ghostly ectoplasm. That's another one.
Evelyn, as you're just pulling horrors out of Strix's pockets like clown handkerchiefs, you see both Photos and Kuba, the pair just like immediately start eating things, and immediately
my things!
after a moment, Photos immediately is like, twice daddy, twice, and the pig continues eating, and even when it gets to the ectoplasm, you just see it just stops and just runs its tongue across the floor trying to get it on.
Evelyn is like, Strix would be happy to provide snackies. That's good. That would make her happy.
You do in fact find a diamond.
I pull it out, I use it to cast Revivify, and the whole time just like, it's no big deal, Revivify, no big deal, just got it, we'll take care of it. And, it's like holding Strix's head while she comes to, kind of patting her cheek.
She's like,
hey,
like drooling on her.
Okay, come on.
I'm like shuddering, like, oh, they do this all the time.
It's so disgusting. We're so weird. I'm having an existential crisis.
That's what Evelyn actually says. That is what she's
Like,
Strix.
I know.
One moment you are looking at Tiamat swearing her revenge, and you feel the familiar tug of resurrection. Again, you've been through this. And you feel yourself drawn back, and you see Evelyn's smiling face over you, like, nothing happened.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure we were told not to open the box.
Yeah,
I think, can I have scooped the box up and maybe just put it?
Yeah, maybe
With
someone
me.
else should take the box.
Evelyn nods at Kent when he does that, like, please.
Thanks,
get
Evelyn.
away from her.
I'm so sorry. I just
gotcha.
wanted a little. By the way, I saw Tiamat in there. Tiamat was really mad.
Say more.
Oh,
Yeah,
Tiamat
please
was in there.
explain.
She was like really mad. She's just she asked if I wanted a piece of her, which I was like, is this a threat or like physical piece? I don't know, like a piece of her. I don't know. I was like maybe, but then I didn't say anything and covered myself with my cloak.
Strix, why would you have gone where Tiamat is?
I mean, I think because I opened that. I don't. That's an excellent question. I will think about later.
You know lots of things about Arcana. Maybe you should check your own memories about it.
Oh, all right. That seems a little rude, but
I'm going to spare you the dice roll because it is true. You are an expert on both aspects of
It's
death,
true. Yes.
Strix. And it's gotten so bad here. The corruption has affected the afterlife.
no.
You're so far from anything here. Unfortunately, go ahead.
It's Strix is just like, we're too far out. It's like if we're like in the middle of nowhere and we're not even in the plains anymore. It's someplace else.
What?
Speaking of someplace else, all of you give me perception checks.
What if I wish to not?
I'm
goodness.
what is that word? What is the word you just said? Wish? Go on.
No.
I happen to know some of you have access to that type of magic.
I don't give Strix that spell on
Wow.
purpose.
Crossover, come back, and now my rolls are good. 23.
That's all you took.
Where
Just
were
give a
you
little
before
shake-up.
I died?
let me say one thing real quick, because I believe longtime fans of my work know I am nothing if not merciful. So, although this place is objectively terrible, and this ship is a thing of nightmares, you do manage to take a long rest beforehand. Let me ask, keep those perceptions. I do want them. I just want to have to tell you something beforehand. Roughly where do you all sleep? Understanding that this just is sort of a nonsensical twisting amalgamation, like a crude, quite frankly, corruption of what was once a beautiful vessel. Where do you all sleep? In your own rooms? Do you stay together?
Is there any? So I know that some part of the original vessel is like visible. Is there anywhere you can see like the original like natural materia it was made of?
Nowhere. It is all encased in this like black chitinous armor. Even the walls inside. You all sweep the ship. You're certain there's nothing dangerous aboard.
I'm gonna hang myself like from my cloak. Like, so I'm gonna build like a little hammock out of my cloak from one. Not like.
I was about to say, I'm like, that is an
no.
odd turn of phrase, but
sorry.
Yeah, Strix,
Are you hanging up like a bat? Like
Strix is like, I'm gonna go interrogate Tiamat again. Hang on, I'll see you.
That's hang, not just.
Yeah. That got dark quickly. It's all I'm saying. A hammock, a delightful hammock.
Yes, I'm going to make a delightful island hammock between two of the masts out of my
Evelyn will
cloak.
climb in it with her.
Okay, and Strix reluctantly, as she's laying there log-like, reluctantly will just set eyes on Evelyn and just is like, fine.
Where is Walnut relevant to this cuddle puddle?
Where's Walnut relevant? Not in space as a druid is a thing. Okay. I will say that after seeing Evelyn and Strix go in a hammock, and then obviously like Virgil and Kent kind of have their own thing, Walnut's just kind of like looking around and realizing like just finally getting the sense like I'm the fifth wheel, and also I don't know where to go right now, and so she just like has been holding Bala like in various positions and just is like, okay, here's as good as any, and she just plops down and tries to get ready to trance, just like sitting.
If Strix sees that, she's gonna be like, no, come here, but Walnut, come, be a Walnut.
I'm fine.
You see Kuba hops out of the hammock and just like flutters down in this like very objectively filthy pig, just sort of like snuggles under your arm a little bit. Walnut there next to you, like
this is ideal. The animals is ideal, and also Walnut's never taken a bath in her life, so
perfect. You do all gain the benefits of a long rest because you had exhausted a number of your resources, and unfortunately are about to exhaust a number more. So those perceptions, what do you get? Kent?
12.
Virgil?
23.
Walnut?
18.
And Evelyn?
19.
And Strix?
3.
Oh no. Evelyn is kind of blocking your view.
Yeah.
How does Strix sleep? Just for the record, just what is it? What is her sleep aesthetic? I mean, is she a spreader and a drooler? Does she like cuddler?
I think she just sleeps upside down with all of her appendages like a corpse, just crossed, and just
with
like,
a
but is
tentacle wrapped around.
yes, around her, but is definitely snoring, but like into her pillow, so like a death rattle snore.
I'm gonna say Strix is still asleep with a roll that low. When the rest of you sort of come to and look out of portholes, and you see hanging in the horrid void a mass of drifting tentacles, veined wings, pulsing sores, and unblinking eyes advancing towards the ship.
How are all those things on one thing?
I'm gonna show you a picture. Unfortunately, I
I
can't show
really
it to
wish you
everybody.
hadn't asked that.
Yeah, no, that was not.
I just
I
look at all their faces. By the way, it is gargantuan.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
it
I
does.
don't like
You know what
it.
though?
Yeah.
It does have all those things.
It does.
It does.
For those of you at home, you can, you know what? I'll tell you what you can Google in a second. So, you have one round before it gets here, which essentially you can do a thing, understanding that this thing is absolutely about to attack the ship. So, I'm gonna go back the other way around the horn. Walnut.
Oh my gosh. In my head, I thought, and there's no way it's Walnut first. Great. No, we got, we're so good here. Oh gosh. One thing we can do, and we're up and, oh my God. I don't even know.
I'll come back to you. That's
yeah,
okay.
Please. I was like,
No.
I don't know what Walnut would do in this moment.
No problem. I'll come back to you. Kent? I mean, it's too far to
God.
attack. It's
Yeah.
essentially like you can prepare an action, you could cast a buff type thing. Like you have essentially one thing before it gets going.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, honestly, I think I tell everyone to like take cover and try and like either hide or put something between you or something. And I'm talking to everyone, but I'm very clearly maintaining eye contact with Virgil. And I mean, I'll dive like into some crates or in between some barrels or something on just to give myself a little bit of cover and try and pull Virgil if he wants to come with me either into that same spot or somewhere else where there is cover for us.
Perfect. Virgil?
Oh wow. Yeah, Virgil's definitely going to allow allow the urgent like pull from Kent, and just looking up at the air bubble that kind of surrounds the ship, is wondering if there's any way to kind of like condense any kind of atmosphere on the other side to make it basically a little less visible, almost like pushing fog up around the bubble so that we're a little less visible.
Try and hide somehow, essentially.
Yeah, Virgil can control the weather, but we are sort of in a extraordinarily controlled environment, so it's sort of like changing the proportion of moisture that we already have in here at the very top of that bubble, just to be like fog.
Perfect. I'm going to allow such a thing. Excellent. Evelyn?
We're all seeing this creature, right?
Except Strix, who is still very happily snoring.
I do that thing where you just wake up and something startles you, so you try to hit it. Except my trying to hit it is casting banishment.
It is too far for a spell. This is.
I can see it. It's a certain thing you can see.
All right. You can try and banish. What's the save on your banishment?
Charisma 18.
Perfect.
Be gone!
We're going to come back to what happens there. Strix, because no one woke you, I'm going to say you don't get to do a prep thing, but you will be awake by the time the chaos starts.
Oh, good.
I got it.
Evelyn.
Wait, but Walnut didn't get to go.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Sorry. I would say that are we all close together? Can we say yes?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, you all kind of slept
Yeah.
like nearby. Yeah.
Okay, great. So after what had happened before, I see that and I take a couple steps over and I touch Kent, and I bestow you with foresight. And I'm just like, oh no, like immediately thinking, I don't want you to feel that pain again.
Oh, Walnut.
So you have a limited ability to see in the immediate future. You can't be surprised. You have an advantage on attack rolls, ability checks, saving throws, and other creatures have a disadvantage on attack rolls against you.
Nice.
Depending on what is about to happen with Evelyn's banishment, I think there's a small chance that seeing the future Kent just begins to scream.
I'm like, oh no.
Seeing the future, Kent just begins to scream.
Cool.
Because
That makes me scream.
Evelyn, as you reach out, and again, you are a significantly powerful wielder of magic, and you push against this thing, all of you hear in your heads, "Oh, delightfully tasty creatures, you wish to banish me.
Yes.
Little do you realize there is no worse place to go than this. I would have made your deaths quick. Now I will savor ending your lives one by one." And it blinks away. You don't see it.
It wouldn't have necessarily been a worse place. It's a harmless demiplane.
And then reappears right over the ship. And its tentacles reach out. Now, roll initiative.
No!
And we continue to scream.
Yeah.
Just all, yeah.
The crew, at this point too.
Yeah.
You know,
Kent just starts a fraction of a second before the rest of the crew, and then
That's
they all
it.
catch
Yeah,
up.
we're just catching up with Kent the whole time. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like you're 5 pages ahead in the book. I will say, for those of you playing the home game, Google a cosmic horror and look up at this like big friendly boy. Like, I don't understand why like everybody's all freaked out, because clearly it just wants to be friends
The birds are
forever. Those aren't birds. Those
no.
are yeah.
I had to look at it a lot.
Yeah, those aren't birds. Yeah. Good news. Good news, bad news. Good news. No, just pretty good news. It rolled kind of poorly on its initiative, so that's cool. Again, you all are far traveled. This thing, you've seen a number of things that should not be, but this is just an amalgamation of just horror and chaos that's just radiating evil. Evelyn, it is almost hard to look straight at it for you, but even the rest of you can just feel in your heart that this thing is absolutely wrong. But Evelyn, what was your initiative?
I rolled a nat 20.
Hey!
I think when
For
you're
the record-
describing
for
that
the
it's
record-
wrong and Strix is asleep.
It's true. For the record, it just straight up made the save, by the way.
Sure.
Kent?
Oh,
17
the
again.
banishment save?
Yes, it made the save on the banishment.
Oh,
Darn.
17 again. I
Walnut?
am consistent.
That's true. It was 17 again.
Yeah.
Walnut?
would it shock you to know it's an 11?
What?
Oh
I
my
mean, you're
gosh.
within standard deviation. Virgil? Again, the
4.
first mate
Oh.
yells down, "It is statistically improbable, but not impossible."
Nice.
Virgil's are what?
4.
Okay. Strix?
I got an 11 as well. I think Walnut has a higher dex than me.
I will leave it up to the two of you, but Walnut is doing double damage, so maybe
I'm-
maybe
I'm
let
asleep, so
That is
Walnut
true.
can go first.
Yeah, I got this baby. You sleep.
Yeah, you sleep.
Don't wake up.
Don't wait.
Perfect. All right. Evelyn, it is your turn. This horrifying cosmic horror, which is also gargantuan, is out over you, extending its spiny tentacles as its mouth just opens up. And it looks right at you, Evelyn. And it says, "You are a servant of the light in a place of darkness."
I will cast circle of power and say, "You are damn right," and just radiant energy goes out from me in a 30-foot radius from me, and its concentration, so until it ends, all friendly creatures in the area, including me, have advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. When an affected creature succeeds on a saving throw made against a spell or magical effect that allows it to make a saving throw to take only half damage, it instead takes no damage if it succeeds on the saving throws. So I'm thinking that if I already have the aura of like resistance against magic damage, then this should mean that no one takes spell damage.
You know, I have I was in a prolonged battle with Asmodeus where this exact sequence of events is how we survived it.
Really?
Yeah, literally, that's exactly what happened. There is nothing it can do about it. You all see, you tell me, Evelyn, is the glory of Lathander erupts from you here in the darkest of places. What does it look like?
Well, usually Evelyn's radiant energy is that kind of yellow sunlight. It's warm and everything, but out here it's been cosmic, like very bright white, blue starlight and rainbows. So I think when that circle of power erupts from her, it's kind of like prismatic, you know, like, and then it spits like tiny motes of starlight into the air bubble around the ship. So it's almost like its own starry sky around the ship of like rainbow blinking Lathander lights. And then she just stands in the middle of it, kind of like as the radiance calms.
You know, you all kind of can't help but just feel heartened by this. It is almost like it is the unstoppable force meets the immovable object, as this manifestation of literally cosmic horror is met with the blinding light of Lathander. Strix, it sucks so bad. That's what wakes you up. That you're just sleeping, and then Evelyn light, and then you're like,
It was so dark.
Anything else from Evelyn?
No, I think getting to have a one-liner plus a really powerful spell is enough for her.
Kent, Kent, you, again, as you're watching, it is odd. It is like, you're watching everything happen on 2x speed. You saw Evelyn doing that. You see Walnut jumping out in dealing this thing a terrible blow. And unfortunately, you also see what the cosmic horror is going to do in response. But first, it is your turn. Actually, let me just do one little chunky thing here. You actually are aware immediately that as Evelyn begins glowing here, a split second before it happens, I'm going to say that Kent yells duck, and I'm actually going to give everybody advantage on this one, which isn't how foresight works. I know, don't come at me, internet. This is a happy occasion, and we're having fun on Halloween.
That's right.
This thing inflates and a gelatinous goo of poison sprays all over the ship, which is not a spell.
No.
But it is a save. It is a con save, which you can have advantage for.
And +4.
So advantage and +4 to a con save.
Ooh, nice. So it's a 23 for Kent.
23. Everybody
23 for me
saves. Too. 23.
29 for Virgil.
29. Strix and Walnut. 17.
17 for Walnut.
17.
God. Oh, the first one was not good.
Mhm.
15.
Unfortunately, Walnut and Strix take 28 points of poison damage, not counting any mitigation. The rest of you take 14. And Strix, you see one of the eyes looks at you, and you hear in your head, You have been blessed with a mighty appendage. Shall I teach you how to use it properly?
Girl.
Okay, look, I'm sorry. No,
Strix is about to
no.
go, oh wow,
Okay.
and then she hears Kent go, oh girl, and she's like, wait, I don't like this.
You've been
Get out of my
awake.
head.
You haven't even been awake 6 seconds, Strix. The whole round 6 seconds. Like you just come to, and this tentacle horror is just like, creeping in your head.
Get out of my personal space.
Kent, however, it is your turn.
Oh man, I mean, I think seeing a little bit of the future, Kent starts to stand up and take a few steps, and it's super disorienting because I think I've already stepped, so I start moving the other leg and then realize I hadn't actually moved the first one yet. It's very confusing.
You all do see Kent almost looks like stop motion, almost like he's pop locking with everything he does for this very reason.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think I'm going to do kind of what I did before and start climbing up the rigging, but this time, as Kent is wont to do, being a little extra about it, because with this extra foresight, I do kind of want it to come for me, at least at first. So climbing up this rigging, making lots of noise, and as I go, I'll toss 2 daggers at it. As much to try and get its attention as anything else. I'm not sure how much a dagger is going to do.
Perfect. Have at it.
All right, first one, because I forgot that.
I'll give you your sneak attack on this.
Okay, so it's 27 to hit.
That is enough.
Great, and then that will be 7 plus 18 is 25, plus another 26 is 51 damage.
51.
And I will tell you, 18 of which is necrotic, if that matters.
It might. Let's see. Excellent. Thank you.
Yep, and then the second dagger, I'll climb a little bit further and then throw another dagger. That's only a 15 to hit, though.
The first one hits it, and you see as the second one is hurtling towards it, it just moves the tentacle out of the way as it goes hurtling off into the distance. And you hear in your head, "You're a brave one. Let us see how long your resolve holds."
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Unfortunately, it gets a natural 20.
With disadvantage?
Does it have disadvantage to attack?
Yeah.
Oh, curses! That's 2
Foresight.
natural 20s. You've taken away. Kent, you see yourself being grabbed and broken, and you start diving to the side a second sooner, where it is still going to be enough for it to grab you. But, hold on a second here. Sorry. Give me, you all see, good news, bad news, again. It only hits you for 18 force damage, but it grapples you and lifts you off the ship. You all see it picks Kent up and is moving Kent towards its mouth, actively.
Hang on 1 second. Is this an action or a bonus action? Oh, it's a bonus action.
Well, what it's doing is your legendary. It's legendary, so it's gonna happen after you're done.
Oh, after my turn. Okay, that's fine. I can wait till my next turn. That's fine. That's fine.
Perfect. Walnut, keeper of the double damage.
Oh yeah. I probably shouldn't pick something that doesn't have
Hey, smoke him if you got him, because we're almost at the end of the episode.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I just why wouldn't we? We long rested. We had
Again,
such a let's do that. Let's do the beam. Do the beam. The biggest moonbeam possible.
All the way to 9?
No, not 9.
Okay. Right.
Foresight was 9.
Got it.
I blew it all on Kent. Okay.
A good investment.
So this is unfortunate. It's gonna have to do a con save of 19, but on a failed save, it will still do half damage no matter what. So let me roll all of my die.
It unfortunately is going to make the save.
I assumed it's pretty good at some stuff, and I think that's one of them.
It's kind of chunk. Yeah, right.
Okay, well, it'll take half of 87.
That is with the double dice.
Actually, yes, it is. Yes, because I accidentally
Oh.
rolled d20s instead of d10s, but it is because of the 20. I failed upwards, and that's it.
I'm here for it. Perfect. You do see it is burning and smoking, and the smell is absolutely horrific here. Anything else from Walnut?
No, she's too blessed to stress on this one.
The dark side of the force is a pathway to many abilities some would consider to be unnatural. Walnut, just kind of giving into hate and rage, is paying major dividends out here in the far realms. Strix, it is your turn.
All right, so I've this thing. Is there a tentacle I can touch anywhere around here?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the old saying. Is there a
Yeah.
tentacle I can touch anywhere around?
I mean,
As
it
you
does
do.
sound-
Yeah.
It does sound like the start of a bad joke.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I am going to reach out and touch one and try and plane shift this thing away.
What is the save on your plane?
It's a
shift?
charisma 19.
Nice.
Shockingly, for an objectively horrific thing, it has an astonishingly high charisma bonus.
Yeah, Strix
So-
is like, this thing can't be like, what? Ew.
I mean, it's got 10 eyes, but if you look at them, they are kind of like a nice baby blue type thing. You know what I mean?
Oh
like
my
Strix-
God.
Way,
like,
you know.
exactly.
Y'all
Like it
got
kinda-
lost
kinda-
in those
kinda-
eyes, yeah.
Kind of like gives you a little bit of a wink there. Like, I
Gross.
mean, it like, legit, it's got a charisma of 24, and I'm like, how? That's- I mean, maybe I was doing the voice all wrong. It's supposed to be like, hey, baby, how you doing? Maybe I could just like,
No, I don't like
you know,
it.
we
If
could
Might
Strix
not have minded
heard
so
that-
much at that
If
point.
Strix heard
Yeah,
that,
right.
she would be 10 times more disturbed.
I'm just stopping by to eat everybody.
No, no.
That's cool. Yeah. Anything else from Strix?
No, I was just trying to banish it, and if it doesn't work, I look very put out.
Kent. You realize what's about to happen,
Ugh.
and it is terrible.
Mm.
And unfortunately,
You're not gonna tell me. You?
I'm not going to tell you. That is a good place for us to stop. However, who I am going to tell is who won the things. That's important, right? I mean, just because I leave you in twisting agony until next week on a cliffhanger, that's cool. However, our episode 3 giveaway winners are Jerfisme, Jerrfisme, wins the 2 Spelljammer boosters. Huzzah, Jerfisme, if I'm saying it right. SDNK9999 wins the Ahoy Matey collection. Use code HippoFolk to get 15 at use code HippoFolk15 at dndmini.com for 15% off your next order. Thank you, WizKids. That expires on November 6th. Thank you to Luca and V for producing this episode. Thank you to Martin and Mars for moderating our chat. Thank you to Anna, Brian, Eugenio, Holly, and Trystan for being the most wonderful people to go out into twisting madness with. Again, it is written. Thank you.
Thank
to
you.
me.
I'll do it for you.
Oh,
Thank
all right.
you.
Thank you.
You be
Thank you,
Dave.
B.
Thank you,
Dave.
B. Dave.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all for your patience, and then all the rest
Nah.
of you. Kent, however,
No.
having seen the future and what is to come, is also available in Idle Champions right now.
Yeah, but like apparently only as long as Kent is going to survive in this game because today's the last day
Oh
of
my
Liar's
God.
Night, y'all. So gotta get him tonight.
There it is. Get him tonight. Get him tonight. Because again, I told you what's about to happen is terrible.
Oh,
In
good.
the meantime, we will see you next Monday, November 7th at 4 p.m. for Idle Champions Presents The Hunger of the Far Realms, Episode 4, The Voice of Pain.
Oh.
2 last things. We might get another transformation, but I assure you this one will be nowhere near as pleasant as the magical girl sailor transformation. And 2, enjoy all of that half price off candy tomorrow and have some for your homie. And one last thing before we wrap this up. My dad's favorite song was Fantasy by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Please listen to it at some point tonight. Play it loud so they can dance to it in heaven. And in the meantime, thank you all so much, and we will see you next week.